everyone. Welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming. Without us, they couldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. We actually have a tournament coming up in March, which is going to be held at Palladium Games in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. It's going to be a 2-day event. But before we turn around and get to that, and that's going to be coming up on future battle reports to help try to promote and things like that, I want to go ahead and today is a special day. I was told I was given a timeline. I was literally just given, it looked like the finished product of the book. So barring any errors that we have to correct between now and publishing, I hope that the book will be out. And this is the book, going to be one of the official book reviews. There's already been several so far. I was told to turn around and get it done. And I'm really looking forward to this. So I thought about who would be a good person to turn around and do a book review. Because, look, doing a book review is not all bells and whistles. Everything doesn't smell like roses. So I thought of someone who has been dubbed the villain of the Mid-Atlantic by Mr. Gene Phelps. He's just always had hard lists, very symmetrical, but very hard lists. He helps other members of our group turn around and try to make better lists and break the shit that they can in the Ninth Age to have the most competitive list that they can. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Snarky himself, Mr. Phil Carl, aka Kazandu, for those of you who see him on the forum. And this is going to be the official book review of The Kingdom of Equitaine, Legendary Army Book.
Ooh, we're official now? That sounds fancy.
It's official. It's going alpha. I mean, I just did a whole bunch of things for some companies, and I wish I knew about this other company that's actually putting out a box set for the Ninth Age. And by the sounds of him, he doesn't have an accent. I believe, or he does. It's just he sounds very American or Canadian, one of those two. But meanwhile, I mean, I just did things for two different companies, Dragon Lakes and Weird Dragon Lake Miniatures and Weird Farm Miniatures. Both have been had very fantastic products, and also again, you helped me print out that Lost Kingdom model.
Lost Kingdom stuff is quite nice.
Oh my god, yes. And you're helping me with more of that. So, so I thought it very fitting that you be one of the people to turn around and help me, especially considering your current book, which has a lot less leaves than what I'm used to you ever playing. And
I'll go back to trees. My list got cheaper again.
Oh god. I
won't say it got cheaper. It stayed the same, which is about what you can ask for with the current price changes.
So, I thought it was very fitting to turn around and ask you to go ahead and help me do a book review. So, with that said, here is the front cover, King of Equitaine. This is what it's going to be. And the first thing I want you to turn around and notice, it says Fae. Fae's something new. We've had some spoilers out. Some other people have gone ahead and talked about them. So I'm really happy to go ahead and see that. Phil, what's been your sense on the Fae so far with what you do know?
I mean, they're almost a bit of a supernatural aspect to it, which I kind of like. They're definitely adding a little bit more, I want to say diversity, because we're used to KOE being mostly all mounted, but the Fae kind of adds some more monstrous and or infantry-like things, all things considered.
Actually,
screw those little shining lights. Well,
this is a very night-centric book, so please know it adds to the flavor, but it's not going to become the mainstay. It's not going to be the power.
No, it just adds. It's like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the best way to put it.
Yep, and we'll get to that when we look at the percentages as well. So here are the Army Pacific rules. So the Army Blessing, everything basically has personal protections, Aegis X+, written with them. We'll get to that, but the entire army has an Aegis save. So, I mean, some comments could be, okay, well, it's good demons. That's not the case. There is background behind it. And for those, I mean, Phil, you've played me how long? How much of my stuff had an Aegis save?
the honest answer is most of it. But
yeah.
I mean, KOE has always had Age of Save, even if you go back to the older legacy game.
Yeah, to the game that shall not be named.
Pretty much.
So Fey spirits, basically they're exactly like, since we mentioned trees, they're exactly very similar to the dryads, and tree fathers and things like that. And in this background, which has been very rich, they're actually the same. They're tied to this plane of existence. So if they die, just like mortals, they die. And that's the difference with the Fey spirits. Unlike, say, demons that go back to the other side of the veil, and like it hurts like a son of a gun, but they live elsewhere. And let's see, Gallantry. So airborne gallantry, or gallantry in this case. Remember how we always had to do those percentages, Phil, to try to figure out how many flyers and all that other crap?
It was a lot.
We simplified it. You get so many points to utilize. When I say points, it's going to, for 4,500, it's going to be like 7 points. And it says it right here in Gallantry, which is what the game is supposed to be based off of. Each unit or model is assigned X amount of Gallantry points. And when you hit 7, you can't go past it. If you do, you can't field it. There's no...
Right.
Makes life a lot easier to figure out, because otherwise it's just like, okay, how much is in core special characters? Does that character count towards this percentage? We just simplified it. The Knight Banneret. You were on the playtesting team. What do you think about the Knight Banneret?
I'm currently seeing a black screen on your thing, so I'm actually trying to reread what the Knight Banneret does.
All right.
Right now, it's just a black screen. I'm assuming you have the KOE stuff actually pulled up on the thing, right?
I do. I do have the KOE stuff pulled up on my screen right now. And basically, the Knight Banneret is model gains +1 hit points to a maximum of 3+.
Oh, that's the champion thing.
Yeah.
And it can have up to 2. It acts as another banner.
Yep.
I mean, I think there is potential to make a unit with 3 very, very powerful banners, 4 if there's a BSB. So if you really want to create a Death Star, I think the Knight Banneret is just a fantastic way to say, we have every special rule. But I mean, that's also considering you're investing a heavy and significant amount of points into one general thing.
Yes, in which case, then the rest of your army, no offense, is also going to really suffer.
I mean, I think you can get to MR5, if not more. So you could just make it just a fuck all. You can't.
Yeah, but you can do that now normally.
I think BSB takes 2.
The unit take.
Sorry, you can get MR6. You can get up MR6.
No.
Yes.
How?
Aether Icon. Oh no, you can only take 3 Aether Icons.
Yeah.
Different problem. Okay, never mind.
In which case,
it sounded good in my head. You could technically take 4 if you want to cheat.
Yeah, well, as I said, you do break shit. But yeah, no, you can take the Obsidian Rock and 3 Aether Icons now.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm thinking more because you've got a lot of specialized banners that do a lot of very cool, very on-brand things. It's just when they do them all at the same time.
Well, you know what? We're going to get to that, because the last time you playtested, there have been some changes. So we'll get to that. The Banneret can actually only take banners from the KOE book. So that...
If only you had good banners. Wait a second.
But here's the thing is, it's only a 2 hit point model, so if that Banneret dies, it's not like you have additional protections or 1-up armor or anything like that. It's a basic knight from that unit. And now you just lost. So now here's your typical unit champion, which is 10 points. Only gains an extra wound. And costs additional 25 to 35 points. So now that's the knight plus, let's say 45 to, let's just say 45 points. Then the banner. So that banneret's now 100 points. For a unit.
That's fair.
For a unit champ.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that you don't get the points for that unless you kill the whole unit, not just the unit champ, correct?
Also,
can you bring back the Banneret with Druidism?
Druidism, yes, but not the Order Minister, which is the other special champion for healing the
Right. Well,
wounds.
that's a different thing, and I don't actually have as much of a problem with them so much as Druidism bringing back your special banner man.
It's still the unit champ, but it's fair, but at the same time it does have that added flavor as well. And look, if it comes up as too much of an issue for alpha playtesting, I'm not gonna lie, we'll axe it.
Fair.
But that's definitely something that we are going to keep an eye on. RT is actually going to keep an eye on. But I can be honest with you, has not become an issue. And also, Druidism took that nerf.
What nerf did Druidism take?
Well, you can only use the attribute once.
Ew. Who approved that?
Trees aren't looking as tasty anymore, are they?
I mean, no, they still are, but still.
But yeah, you can only use the attribute once.
Oh, that's actually...
So that's a big nerf to what KOE players used to do. Because am I going to turn around and get back that special champ, or am I going to heal that wound on my lord?
That's fair.
And the Order of Minister cannot be used on unit champs.
Right.
All right. So, do you see that slide?
No. Let me see. No.
All right. Let me try one thing. All right. Sorry for that brief moment there. We did go ahead and fix that. Phil, you with me?
I mean, you keep me chained to the desk, so if anyone can hear this, send help.
Those who know you won't. So right now we're looking at the Orisons, and there's 3 different Orisons: Holy Strike, Holy Shield, and Holy Wrath. So the one thing that it is throughout all the different Aegises and things like that is there's a maximum Aegis. Okay, and apparently with order priority is again, I know most people, because the way it used to be played, say the current Slim Book or the old Slim Book by the time anyone watches this, with the combination of say the Banner of Roland and Piety, you should say 4+ Aegis versus range. But that's not true, because the order priority, because Piety says maximum 5+, you can never have better than a 5+.
But that requires people reading the rules.
And you know what? I'm just as guilty of missing that subtle change, but so...
Because it's modifiers first, and always or musts are superseded by everything else, if memory serves.
Exactly. So Holy Strike is +1 to hit. We did not do the what do else have? The lightning reflexes. Because we didn't want things to all of a sudden you go charging in with a great weapon unit. All of a sudden you have lightning reflexes, and we put on Know Thy Enemy, and now you've got basically you're going like an elf. And no, they're human. That's not what we wanted. At the same time, we wanted to make sure that we took care of Rubber Lance Syndrome, because unlike other armies, that is one thing that KOE is notorious about, is having Rubber Lance Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And no little blue pill will take care of that.
You are not wrong.
No, I am not wrong.
You're not wrong.
So, and
I mean, +1 to hit's fine. Like I said, the Orisons themselves are actually, I think they're interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to play out once this goes to the wider player base.
And you can't be other than the Saint. You cannot. Nothing else can be affected by the Orison. It can be affected by more than one Orison. And
right, you can't stack them.
And duplication of Orisons mean absolutely nothing.
Well, yes, that is very, very true. Well, technically, if you could duplicate the Holy Shield, because you could be at a 6-up ward save in some cases, you could technically duplicate to the 4-up, couldn't you? In theory. No,
it says it right there. Is it cannot be? Well, because of this, you cannot duplicate from the Orisons.
Right. No, I'm saying if you could duplicate. I'm talking semantics. Ignore me.
Anyway. All right, I'm going to ignore you because I'm not following you. It's not logic.
That's fair.
The other thing that so what I do like about this is it's going to force the KOE player to make a choice, and you have to do it at the start of the phase or start of combat. So
it also forces the opponent to make a choice too, because there are ways, which I'm sure we'll get to, about how to get more of these lovely little Orison tokens.
Yes. So you start with them either based off characters or your build itself, and there is a way to turn around and get it. I mean, I just did a 6,000 point game just today versus one of my other task team members, versus Henry. And I started the game with 3. I only was able to get 2 more the entire game, and that's all that I used the entire game.
That might be all you need in certain cases, but that's a different story entirely.
That is. And so looking at that and knowing where KOE came from, where it's like, oh, strength 5, or you want to go ahead, you want to cast perception of strength, go for it. I don't care. I'll be 4 up, 5 up. I'll take that. I'll take that versus a versus whatever. I definitely think because of that asset allocation, and it only lasts the phase, unlike an order which lasts throughout multiple phases, it's only a short duration. So I'm hoping that goes well regarding that, and the personal protections. Courage, honesty, and the ordeal. So again, the goddess here, background-wise, loves everybody equally. It doesn't make a difference if you're lord, cleric, or you're a peasant farmer. And please know, these peasants are not the salt of the earth. These are not morons. It's where someone like Empire uses technology. This country uses magic like technology. Unfortunately, magic is toxic. Just like breathing in, breathing in bad fumes. So that affects the population's life expectancy, but that's also why she gives the blessing to everybody. Courage, which are your basic knights, all knights. If you, with the exception of a paladin, because they are no longer a knight, they're now part of the clergy. If you lose your armor save, you gain +1 Aegis. To a maximum of 4 up.
So basically, if you're somehow AP 5 or better, then you get the 5 up board save.
Yes. No. AP 5 or better, yes.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you still have a 2 up armor save. Nothing's changed.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if you've got that pesky shield breaker, at least you get a 5 up board save. That's not terrible.
Or a cannon or something like that. So again, 50-50. But remember, KOE units are also really small, too. You're talking a maximum being...
I mean, all cavalry units are relatively small. Usually they're, 12 to 15 models? 15 max. Being larger for KOE, yeah.
Yeah, max.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason for that. And the honesty, which, again, that is coming from the clergy themselves, is +1 Aegis versus magical attacks. To a maximum of 4 up.
No one expects the Equitaine Inquisition.
And you actually can build an Inquisition army and things like that if you so chose. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's not desired playstyle, but you actually can, for those of you who are fluffy like that.
Challenge accepted. I think it's good.
Let's see. We've got the Ordeal, which are your peasants. Not so much peasant, but your common folk. I think thinking of them as just pure peasants is wrong, because that's also where your merchant class is and things like that. And,
are they on horses?
Huh?
Are they on horses?
Some of them are.
Well, then they're special peasants if they're on horses. Otherwise, they're just peasants, Mark. Let's just call it what it is.
No. As a matter of fact, the men-at-arms actually have the Sky Heralds.
Do they have shiny armor?
If you wish to paint them that way, yes.
Peasants got it. Okay.
Moving on, Phil. Moving on.
They're there to drown us in their own blood while the knights sit in their high shiny as peasants do.
Very much so. So
death by 1,000 cuts. That's what they're there for.
But the Ordeal has a maximum of 5+.
Well, that I kind of respect, because I don't know if anyone else remembers a time long ago where peasants could get a 4 5-up forward save everywhere, all the time. Actually, this is probably roughly the same thing.
It's similar to it, but asset allocation and
they're back.
And I won't lie, this is something I want to keep an eye on. But I think someone such as a mutual friend named Joel will have a field day with this.
Oh no, Joel's peasants are back. Who
this shit? Yes, but unfortunately, the leadership isn't the way. So if you notice,
well, I mean, yes.
Remember
leadership is generally down to 9-ish, isn't it?
Well, no. Remember the Slim book? The Knights passed around their leadership.
Yeah, they can't do that anymore.
Exactly.
If memory serves. No, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, you could just play a 12. You could just have one guy in a Hippogriff. 18 inches is a lot of peasants you can fit in the bubble, but I understand the general principle of what you're saying. Yeah, you can't just have one 5-man or 6-man unit of Knights babysit them.
Exactly. Right. And so that's not there anymore. So I think that there, and that was one of the big issues with that peasant army, was that the leadership was able to be passed out, and the BSB was able to be passed out the way it was. You don't have that here.
That's fair. That's very fair. I think that's definitely, it forms a tighter formation, which I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing in this particular scenario. But you're still going to drown in the blood of men at arms. Are they called men at arms now?
We'll get to that. So with that said, the other thing I want to also pay special attention to is, let's say you decide to take the Talisman of Shielding on one of your models, and you're like, all right, so I'm going to use an Orison, make it a 4-up, but then I have the +1 if I don't have armor, or +1 if I'm hit by magicals. Like, no, or whatever.
It's a max. It's maxed at 4.
It's maxed at 4. It's maxed at 5.
Yeah, for the ordeal.
Yeah.
So peasants can never get above a 5-up ward save. Thank Christ.
Yeah.
That would be stupid if they were Phoenix Guard, except couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, which is what they are anyway. They used to be anyway. Regardless, I think limiting to a 5-up ward save is good for where they're at with it.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
So, let's see. What do you think of the Bastard Sword now from where it was?
I am torn, because I love the old Bastard Sword. Unhealthily, I love the old Bastard Sword.
You bastard.
Ask anyone that knows me, as you would say. I think the Bastard Sword now is arguably better with certain. Basically, this is one of these. It's just +1 strength, so it's not +1 AP.
Mm-hmm.
So, realistically, I think the +1 strength is better in 90% of the scenarios. And then you put a rending banner on there anyway. So if you really need the AP, strength 5 AP. I'm assuming strength 5. Most of the stuff was strength 4 beforehand.
Yep.
So I'm assuming strength 5 AP2 is usually enough to grind you down, considering they're getting less attacks back because lance formation is still a thing.
Yep.
So. I think.
Also remember Forlorn. Don't forget about Forlorn too.
Oh, I think Forlorn. We'll get into that, but I have ideas for those bastards. Every pun intended. I think the Bastard Sword is probably stronger now on the standard models. I think it's a worse choice for characters, if that makes sense.
Is it?
That's kind of. I mean. I think that characters, because their characters will only be AP1 with it, and they'll be Strength 5. So unless you find other ways to boost them, which again you can,
like Shieldbreaker that you just mentioned.
Yeah. Well, Shieldbreaker is a different story entirely.
All right.
Then you're still at strength. You're still at strength 4 or 5. Yeah, okay, Shieldbreaker. Yeah, but I mean that's also, like I said, I think Bastard Swords. Then I'll re-amend. I think Bastard Swords are better if you take precautions against armor with them, which is in your case for a character, Shieldbreaker. Or in units, rending.
Yep.
Those would be kind of my logic to that. I mean, it can still be used as a spear if it's infantry, or a light lance if it's not, so it's still, fine there. Actually, it's better as a light lance because it's 1 stronger AP, I believe.
It is, but it'll be the same strength, but 1 stronger AP.
Yeah. Well, yeah, same strength, one more AP, but I mean, that's still useful on the charge. Like, you use it on the charge of the light lance. And spears, there's your AP if you have...
Forlorn.
Shiny armor things driving you. Yeah. No, I agree. I think
it's also
Bastard Sword.
It's a hand weapon.
I think it's, like I said, I'm 98% certain it's better.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered. I just think that there's arguments to be made for missing our old great weapon friend of it. The lesser strength is kind of the biggest issue there, but even so, it's not.
You know what?
Big of a deal. I think it's fine.
Don't get stuck on saying, "Well, I used to take this."
Well, no. I think it's better now in most situations. Again, but you have to. But it's different because the old Bastard Sword was like it was good against armor, everything just as is. It was just great weapon. Mm-hmm. This is just as viable. You just have to take a couple extra precautions. Again, specifically, my two things I'm thinking of are Rending Banners and or Shield Breakers.
Yep, agreed.
That's about it. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think as long as you're prepared in your list for it, it's a damn good addition. Plus, everything's just about friggin' armor. Like demons, we have a 5 of Board save. Cool, get smacked.
I know. But not only that, but to your point is what the things that do have armor, from my experience, from the amount of playtesting, whether it be a steam tank, whether it be
most things don't have. Most things with AP1 are still a 4 up on most good days, and then if you pop, I mean like unless you're playing other cavalry, and I'm talking Kingdom or Empire Knights or Warrior Empires or unless you're playing something like there's not much else that can get 1-up saves that aren't characters. So I mean the Bastard Sword should be plenty good against most of those in general.
Yep. So because again, one thing I want to stress on this is because I've been seeing some things that's like people thinking it's been a downgrade. From my experience, it has not been. So
it's not a downgrade. Like I said, it's only a downgrade if you don't anticipate the general weaknesses for it. And again, those are fairly straightforward to do.
Yep. All right.
It's fine. Like I said, it's a little bit harder to win toughness 6 models, but then again, those are monsters and they don't get to stomp you, so you probably break them on combat race anyway.
Agreed. So let's go ahead. Let's look at Breath of a Lady, because that, again, has changed. It's no longer...
Here's how you get your Orison tokens.
It's a spell. And
and you can stop it. And like I said, depending on what you need to stop, this might be the lesser of the evils.
And
in my experience, it's not the lesser of the evils, though.
No, it really hasn't been. And then when people go, oh, well, I'm like, yeah, but think about it. Would you rather have let me have a Res 6 or Res 7 unit? Or a Res 5 unit?
Depends if my boy with the Sunstall's in the fight. But normally the answer to that is no.
Or allow me to have a 4-up fortitude?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you at all on that. I think that's a fair point. Like I said, I don't think it's particularly bad one way or another. I think it's just like I said, it's something you want to take. This spell right here is why I'm going to say every freaking damsel in a list will have a fucking talisman or a magical heirloom.
Really?
Like, this is.
You're only going to have. How many damsels are you going to have in your list?
I mean, depends if you want to throw an adept on witchcraft in there or not. Like you can throw an adept in there. Like that's all I'm saying. But your main caster is going to have the heirloom. Mm-hmm. You could, like I said, you could easily throw 2 damsels in nowadays. I mean, there are some people that like throwing 2 damsels in before.
Well, we'll get to damsels here in a moment. So, what about the knight? So we both feel like right now it's cast on 7+. I may go up, may go down. If I were to be a betting man, stay where it is or go up. One of the two.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an 8 or a 9 by the end of it.
We'll see.
Yeah, it depends, but I mean, like I said, I think it's a good starting point. We'll say that where it's at right now. It's definitely a good starting point.
So, knightly principles.
They're all one of a kind, right? Yeah,
they are
one of a kind. Okay.
No, you can spam the shit out. No, they're one of a kind.
Look. We could just be Hiles with multiple masters of Carnegie Tower, or we could just be like, other things. Marshals with multiple orders, just saying.
Yeah, 2 orders on 1 unit. Which, again, KOE can't do. And meanwhile, there I am going in with a steady man with fighting extra ranks and a horde formation with... God.
Look. First of all, that's an expensive... that's expensive if you want to have that many marshals. Because, let's not digress here, but marshals can't fight for shit.
Well, that's true, where KOE can. But then again, I'd say KOE Lord is equivalent to the Knight Commander.
Yeah, but he can't give orders.
That's... true, and most lords can't give Orisons unless it's a saint or a paladin,
which is usually the general. Regardless, let's take a look at these honors here before we get into our usual debate about KOE versus Equitaine.
Yeah.
So honor, Devastating Charge, +2 advance, so you're even faster. Okay, good. I like this. This is kind of, I
You
like the
missed
honor.
one thing, one very important detail. It has to be against your opponent's front facing.
Right. No, I got that. I think this is good as this makes support pieces very good. Like if you want to have a lone Hippogriff, I don't know why you want to have a lone Hippogriff cowboy, but if you did want to have a lone Hippogriff cowboy, this would be kind of awesome on him. Let's see, Justice. Okay, so like so I like Justice. That's cool. You hit my guys, I hit you back.
Yep, you kill Bob, George, Jimmy, and I don't know, just pick a name.
The max gets three extra attacks. Okay.
So
I like that.
Yep. And go ahead.
Valor's fine. Valor is same basic principle it's always been. Multiple and two.
Against... I know people are looking at the screen, but a couple things with Justice. First off, it's going at agility. It's going at agility 0.
0.
Okay,
initiative 0. So basically, you can kill the bastard before he strikes back at you, which is always important.
Kill the guy,
depending on how scary he is.
Yeah, and it's also this model is now designed to be in the unit itself.
Right.
So just keep that in mind that this model is going to be in a unit, and probably a larger size unit. And if he's not touching you, let's say you're on the opposite flank, it does nothing.
Right.
Let's say
close combat attack.
Let's say he's pitted against say unit champion or a character or anything else. He doesn't have swirling melee.
Right. So he's got to hit the characters. Yeah. No, I don't think it's necessarily. I mean. This by itself is fine. I don't know if we'll take a look at the items, but I think it's completely fine as it is.
Valor is
fearless, multiple wound, 2 against things that cause fear. I like that. I like
that. That's your knight killing your dragon.
I think that's very fluffy. I like Valor.
Okay.
Let's see. Excellence. Always hate duels issued by the model must, if possible, be accepted by any character unless the champion. I always hate that, but I mean, it makes sense.
Well, here's the thing: he does not have to issue it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No, but I mean, if you do, it's one of those things where, first of all, I love this because fuck all the skating. I hate those rats. Like you in the back, come here.
Well, they don't have that anymore. I didn't think.
No, but you mean there's the actually they do have the thing I don't know, it's been a while since I played Skaven, but I think they have the infinite champion thing too, which is also a different problem, I suppose.
Yeah. But VC, it's like, oh wait, I killed someone. All right, he comes back again.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. VC is I killed someone. Give me that necromancer now. You force it. You can like that actually. Actually pretty good against VC, all things considered.
It is.
Close combat attack. +2 armor penetration is not bad for that. And that's kind of cool. It's like you're a super dueling character kind of deal.
Which is the whole point of it. And it's not I don't think it's overpowering, but again, go back to your comment regarding the Bastard Sword, it's AP1. Now in a duel, it's now AP3.
Oh, yeah, it's AP3. Well, yeah, AP3. The Bastard Sword was AP3 with characters to begin with. But yeah, it's the same basic principle.
How's the Bastard Sword AP3 to begin with? No, oh, well... No, then this strikes at agility. This strikes at agility because it's a hand weapon.
I think it's better. I think it's better. But again, this is one of those things where you play into the fact that you know what you have to do with it.
Yeah.
So if you know you gotta want to make a character killer, you give them this.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
So faith. So again, you think that pious.
Mm-hmm. If it's engaged in combat, you get a token for the Orisons, and you're limited Ordo Ministers. Which is is that upgrade to Order Ministers?
No, it's not. It's not upgraded, but your Order Ministers go from 0-2 choices to 0-3 choices.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's a 1 more than you could. Okay, that's fine. I think like I said, I'm not 100% sold on the tokens, but that's going to come down to more as time goes on. We'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
I think faith is fine as it is now until we see something that's basically either tokens are broken or they're not broken. That'll come down to the alpha tests and all that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and then, look, you can say, I'm biased, but so far my opponents have not. One opponent hasn't liked it because it's like, okay, well, you get kind of what you need, and like Yeah, and 98% of what I do is always plus Aegis. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was that opponent, ladies and gentlemen. In case
no,
you
he
was wondering,
wasn't.
that
No,
was
you
me.
were not. You
I
were
was.
not.
Was it not me? Was
It
it
was.
someone else? I made the same. I made the same
You
argument.
you made the same comment, but you didn't say it felt bad.
No. I think for me personally, it was just the lack of interaction with the Orison tokens. But again, like you said, they're for one phase, so the trade-off for that is not necessarily. I would not say it's unbalanced.
No, because again, going Empire, and please no, I'm not trying to compare, but Empire's got the little buff wagons that say, okay, everything's got distracting, or everything has lightning reflexes.
I would like to point out Empire models suck.
That I did not argue that. I just was pointing that out.
I got you.
But
no. And like I said, I think it's a fair comparison to say that your orders are for one combat phase buff you, whereas Empire has more because again, let's be real, Empire State Militia, ladies and gentlemen, you could say what you want, they are trash even with those buffs. But regardless, no, it makes sense to me. I don't disagree with it. I think it's just an interesting. I think it's one of those things where we'll see how the general populace feels, or how better list builders than us take this one way or another.
Need to see how it's busted. Absolutely. So let's look at Forbearance.
Yeah. Distracting. The instance of distracting cannot be used in the first round of combat. Okay, so basically, once you've got your footing, you're distracting people. That's interesting.
Yep.
That's a nice protection for your BSB or your Lord.
Yep.
Which I kind of like. Generosity. I hate generosity because it's a peasant shit.
It's a 0, but it's a 0/1, and it's a command present doesn't count as a BSB.
I know, but
and it's only what's
you can fit a lot of things in an 18-inch bubble. We've both seen this.
Yeah, but Gawain's command presence friendly
ordeal mostly, so it's peasants, or most of the peasants have ordeal.
Yeah, but what's you know what? That's supposed to be a really short range. I don't see a range on that. Command presence is not automatically 12 inches.
I'm guessing because if you put it on your general, I don't know. I'm curious. I think that you might want to check the typo for that one.
Yeah.
How far is the commanding presence supposed to be? Is it supposed to be an additional commanding presence? Is it supposed to be 6 inches or less, or +6 to? I don't know. That's actually interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what. Can you open up the book right now and just see if maybe command presence does have a normal?
I'll look it up as we continue.
Yeah, because I didn't think it did.
Commanding presence, I believe, is 12 inches, so it might be a way to give a second character commanding presence. So you could have essentially 2 cheap bunker buddies hiding in different bunkers to buff the commanding presence. That's what I'm betting it is, but I don't know. That's what I'm looking up. Anyway, let's continue as I pull this up.
Value. Hold on. It's on. I just looked it up. It's on page 94 of the big rule book. All generals have commanding presence. It's at 12 inches.
So this is a way to basically give this.
So you can have another general just for your peasants, but if you're taking a knight army,
it does actually give you more knight bannerets too, which is also very helpful.
But
for a different reason.
But remember, if you have honesty models, it doesn't help your honesty models either, or your Fey.
That's fair.
All right. Heroic traits. This is going to be for the folk hero, which is hero of the people. And that's going to be one of the new, which is kind of the new character for the kingdom. So first thing I want to.
I like these. I like that you can take witchcraft. I think 120 points is steep for that.
Why? It's an adept.
Yeah, I guess if it's an adept. Well, most adepts are 75 points. Although I know they're.
Wait till you see the points of the character. Remember,
I know. Yeah. I know. All magic is spoiler to everyone that like their magic relatively cheap. But yeah. So I know that. I know this is kind of a premium. This is a little bit premium, even with the new buffs. But I mean, it's not terrible.
Honestly, I've tried using it. Even in a 6,000 point game, I never used. I think I tried casting one of his spells and stopped it.
Druidism is just so much better, and divination helps a lot too. So I feel like witchcraft is one of those things where it's good in theory, but I don't think it's the best for AoE.
And that's what it was. I had a master div, I had a adept druid, and with the book, and then I had an adept here for the Quinn. And it's 6,000 point game, and I just didn't use the darn thing.
I like the cleric one. I think that's very on brand.
All right.
Honesty, Ordo Minister, so he can heal models.
Mm-hmm.
And Orison one. I think that I like that. That's on brand.
All right. And hold on before we continue. For those of you who are like, oh, I'm gonna, because you'll see the character you can mix and match and things like that. The Quinn, which is the witchcraft mage, does not mix and match with anything.
Okay, so he's stuck with just that one.
Yes.
Okay. Fair. What's Bannerman?
That's how you get your BSB.
Okay, that's how you get a BSB on peasants. Okay.
Yep, and it's +1 attack.
Right.
Troubadour.
March to the beat. Okay. Look, I'm gonna continue to mess that. I've messed that word up in every fantasy video game I've ever seen. It's a Troubadour.
So basically, it's a musician. It's again, think of those of you who have read the Demon Cycle series or reading the Demon Cycles by Peter Brett. It's magical. It's just magical notes.
Mm-hmm. And you got the Castellan. I'm glad to see him back here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, this is pretty. Okay, so you got to participate. So the Castellan also has to purchase one nightly principal. So it's 30 plus whatever you buy elsewhere.
Yes.
Oh, I can see Castellan generosity. I don't like where this is going. Okay.
Well, wait till you see discipline. In which case, you're just going to throw them in the unit anyway.
All right, that's fair. All the weapons, divine judgment. Thank God this thing is not as bad as it used to be. Text me. Oh, so it's like devastating charge +1 strength. So it's +3 strength on the charge, +3 AP on the charge, right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And multi wounds D3.
And so we're not getting more attacks. I think, multiple wounds D3 by ogres. You had a good life.
Yep.
They deserved it.
But it's also devastating charge. Again, we already talked about how those models tend not to. This is not going to be put on the cowboy who's going to go into those ogres. No. As a matter of fact, if Chuck Sadler just put a battle report out, and he tried to charge in with a unit. He had Divine Judgment on a hippo.
This Divine Judgment's a character killer at this point. I would argue.
He charged it in.
Mm-hmm.
Got challenged out the following turn. The guy with the maul just turned around and killed the Duke because the Duke went to strength 4 and lost D3 wounds.
But that's always been the thing. If you can survive the charge, you're fine.
Yep.
You're absolutely fine. You just got to survive the charge. And if you have a champion, great way to do that if they're going in solo.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, no, this is essentially something you'd want to do for multi-charges or character killing on the charge. It's basically what it was. It's no longer able to just mulch things though, which I personally appreciate that.
Exactly, I completely agree. I think it's much more fair, which is where might with that combination it was just too much.
Oh, absolutely. Mortal Reminder gains fear, +1 strength, +1 AP, becomes magical. But you can't put on a bastard sword. Fair. That's actually not terrible. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Strength 7.
Tristan's Resolve. Can you get rid of this shit?
No.
Are we sure? It's the same thing. It's the same thing it was.
There's a difference. There's a difference. It does not have the bonus to strength.
Oh. All right, that's fair. That's actually all right. I accept this now. So it's literally just there to get. This is what you put on your BSB and give them a potion of speed to say, "Hey, you with the burning port, and go fuck off."
But remember, Bastard Sword is a hand weapon.
That's fair. So you can do it like that. So it's still strength 5 AP.
So for those of us,
you can get it back to
for those of us such as myself who used to play this, okay, and use that on my BSB or my one general, and I would say, okay, I'm not going to use the points to buy a weapon. Here's 50 points for a decent magic item. It just got a lot more expensive.
Now you got to buy the weapon to go with it.
Yeah.
Yep. Uther's Medal.
Mm-hmm.
What's this one do? Lance, magical attacks, Oh, no, single enemy.
It's charge dependent.
Oh, it's a bolt. I remember this is the bolt thrower. If you charge, you've got a bolt thrower.
Yes, and
kind of. Well, I mean, not like
And after doing research on what lances actually did in combat, is it wasn't so much the lance was going to skewer what it hit, because a lot of times that person had a shield. Well, you're going to knock that person down on their ass, and they're going to end up falling into the people behind them. So
right.
that's where this really comes from.
So basically, if you have 4 attack, now question: does this work like the Cortesian thing, or is this just one instance
just one
of it?
Just one instance.
Okay. So if you have 4 attacks, 3 normal attacks, and one super poke.
Yes.
Okay, cool. But because as this works like the Cortesian shit, I have concerns.
Do me a favor, read that. It says, in addition to read the last line out loud, please.
Same instance that the whip inflicts 1 hit with area attacks. So it gets its full attacks plus this.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have 4 attacks, it's 4 attacks normally plus this.
And
that's not bad.
And the other thing to keep in mind, this does shit against a monster. Or against...
Oh, yeah, no, this is... Yeah, but I mean, like I said, KOE's never really had problems with monsters. You can't be stomped, assuming you're playing Knights.
Well, yeah, but think of an Elder. Think of an Elder, something, or Feldrax that are being run as a single line or anything like that.
Oh, I can't... I'm just going to savor in the soul tears of the warrior players.
No, just hear me out. Or let's say you're going up against an MSU player. An MSU army.
It's much less effective against that. This is meant to help you against those big old bricks of, I don't know, things meant to die for you. We'll call them peasants. But yes.
You act like I say that a lot. Let's see. So let's look at
it helps with dealing with hordes.
Yeah.
And only one poke is not that bad. Flame.
You're at banners? No, you skipped armor. Bottom left.
Oopsies. Scrolling down.
The etched mail was actually out of the current slim. I can't remember what it is. It's the reroll. It's +1 armor, reroll armor. However,
yes,
we put a caveat on that, and because again, looking at where it was with the current slim, it wasn't.
Yeah, no 1-up, 1-up, 4-up. This is a 1-up, 1-up, 5-up, which still really good. Don't get me wrong, but I like that you put that little bit in there, though you can't go beyond a 5-up.
Yeah, because how many times did I lose my character, and if someone else has a shield break or anything like this, is going to do nothing for that person.
Oh yeah,
actually, it hurts them. It hurts them because maximum is 5-up Aegis.
Look, we're not going to talk about what my new friend has.
All right. So, and Percival's Penelope. Again,
+2 armor. I like that. That's a good, fast, and easy way to get yourself a 1-up save. I like that. That's fine.
Well, it's not those with towering presence. So it doesn't go on the hippo.
Right. No, I'm talking like if you want to have a great weapon character. Mm-hmm. Essentially, easy way to get them a 1-up armor.
Exactly.
I think that's perfectly fine. I like that.
All right. Because again, this army does not have plate.
I never understood that. I still don't understand that.
Because, well, again, that's the technology aspect where, with all the smelting and things like that, that's where Empire excelled, where KOE is more along the magical side.
Got you.
All right, Aura Flame hasn't changed, except it only causes fear in combat. The reason why is we don't want this combined with the Orison to cause terror. Orison.
I appreciate that, because I remember, I think I playtested you before that was a thing.
Yep.
Oh, my poor chat had no clue what they were running from.
Nope.
And it stuck. All right, Relic Shroud. Oh, that's the bound spell, Breath of the Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll amend my previous statement then. You'll either see a magical arrow beam or someone with the Relic Shroud.
Or both.
Take your pick. Or both. Okay, moving on. That'll make me grumpy, all right. Aspirants
Elan. This is the oh shit, I failed my charge banner, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was double checking. This is basically you get devastating charge without getting you get the lance. No. I'll rephrase that. You get the lance bonus.
Yes.
Without getting devastating charge, which I kind of like.
But only if you fail your charge.
Well, yeah, but you can't double it up.
And as long as you're not engaged, so if all of a sudden you go charging in with some cheap chaff, you don't care if it dies because it's got only like 1 or 2 wounds, like a cat or something from ogres, and you hit him in the front, this banner doesn't trigger. It's only if I fail to charge and everything's in the front.
I do like that last line. You have to have failed to charge. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I don't when I play tested this with you ages ago, it seems like
I didn't feel it.
I don't think that was a thing.
No,
well, you did, but I never got to you in the first place. Different story, but different problem. But the failed charge wasn't a thing at that point. I actually do like it. I think that's a much better banner because you have to have failed the charge.
Yeah, what we're finding is people would just turn around and put their unit in front, like just outside. We had a maximum charge distance, and be like, "Come at me," and you're like, "That sucks."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pointed it at you.
Well, no, I just charged you.
Fair enough.
Roland hasn't changed.
Same thing. Fuck your shooting attacks. We don't like them.
Yep.
Fair.
But here's the thing. Keep in mind that says max 5. You put that on a unit of Ordeal, max 4. Ordeal says max 5. Max 5 trumps max 4. So you still only have 5 up ages.
Because it has to be the worst save. It has to be what gives you the least amount of success, because that's also in the rule book. It's the one line no one ever reads.
Yes, and also we did skip one thing. In order for the Ordeal to trigger their Orison, you need to be in combat with either Honesty or Courage in a different unit. So if you have characters in that unit, it doesn't count.
You gotta have others. Okay.
It needs to be a multiple unit combat.
That's fair. Alright. Black Knight's Tabard. Same thing? Same thing.
No longer has the 3-up Aegis.
Oh, they got rid of that.
Yes.
Interesting. I kind of can appreciate that.
I mean, here's the thing: is the army. It's the only army, to my knowledge, that only has a maximum of 4 wounds.
Vermin
Swarm has it. Dwarven Holds has it.
What do you mean a maximum of 4 wounds?
Character, 4-wound character.
Yeah, most of them do have access to a 5-wound character.
5 or 6.
In some way, shape, or form. Yeah, well, 6 if you got a monster. I'm thinking because Empire technically has access to 5-wound characters. They're not great, but we do have access to them. Trees, yeah, I think you're right. I think KOE might be one of the few armies that have access to only 4 wounds. This is essentially a pseudo 5th wound, which I do like.
Yeah,
I do like that you don't have the Aegis save anymore, because it gives you a chance to kill the character on. Let's be real, this is going on a Hippogriff. Like if you're taking this, it's on a Hippogriff. I don't know why you wouldn't, unless it's.
We have more mounts than just a Hippogriff now.
That's fair, but realistically, it's going on a Hippogriff.
We'll get to that.
Because everything else can technically go into a unit.
No.
No?
Well, they can get picked out.
I mean, yes, but even so.
We'll get to that.
I think, yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I think I like this. I do like this is you can still pick out the guy or gal on it. So, and there's no 3-up ward save, so it's a little bit easier to, like, if you really want to be like, that thing dies, you can probably kill it.
Yeah, double cannon. Now it's like, it's not okay. You pop my tabard. Now I'm going to sit there. I got a 3-up. I don't care. Now it's like
now it's like, I'm going to be behind this hill for a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sacred Chalice.
Let me reread this because it's just fun. I think this is way too cheap for 25 points. I mean, you do actually have to be Orison. You do have to have an Orison, but I think this is. It's
limited to where it can go.
This is a steal. Everyone that can will take this.
I haven't been fielding it.
This is so good.
I haven't been fielding it.
And honestly, I don't care about the magic resistance one part. For me, it's the whole I get my Veil token. I think that's. I'm not sure. I think this is. I like the idea behind this. I think this is like maybe a 40-point item instead of 25.
You're on
again.
It hasn't been impactful. Because now it's like, all right, you get what? All right, I'm just going to do it over here. There's a lot of counterplay.
That's fair. I do think there is counterplay. I just think it's a Veil token is a very powerful thing to get. Just
not for KOE.
No, especially for KOE.
No, it's needed for KOE, but
It's needed for KOE. Yeah, but it depends on where you put it. I don't know.
because then if you're doing that, then that means what? You're going to take it on something else that already has MR, so it's not going to add anything to it. So now that's wasted points. So you're only focusing on the one aspect. And honestly, like I said, I used to when all my playtest lists, I had that, and then I just stopped taking it because I'm like, everyone avoids it.
That's fair. I can see, but you know what? Sometimes a deterrent is still very useful for different reasons.
Fair. All right, so now we're going to look at characters. We're on damsels. Before we get to that, look at the top line. Characters 40%, Mim Core 25%, Special,
and Phase 20%,
and Phase 20. Again, we don't want Phase to steal the thunder.
Oh no, they're accent pieces, or in your case, a wonderful new centerpiece Green Knight model. And it's very that was a very pretty model. Again, I cannot say. I will say this: Lost Kingdom miniatures, folks. That Green Knight model is goddamn sexy.
Let me know when I can get the next one.
No, probably Wednesday.
Fair enough.
I'll have it for you Wednesday. But anywho, all right. So, damsel. Oh, thank God! It can be you can stand behind. I can get rid of that unit of peasants I had on my foot list.
Yep, and not only that, but here's the thing: is there's no more MR. It's an Orison 1, so we exchanged the Orisons for the MR.
But no MR. That's fair.
And it's honesty with straight up just 5-up Aegis.
Okay, so that's fine. This is your standard caster that doesn't want to fight.
Yes. No, she hides very well.
Excuse me, please. They want to fight. I am just a lowly damsel.
Go get them, boys. I'm standing right behind you.
Exactly. I like the Wizard Master. We'll get to the other steeds because I think that's this is roughly the same thing. Look, Adepts are now 95 points and Wizard Masters are 265 points. For those of you not paying attention, this is across everything.
So that's 210 points now just for an Adept.
Oh no, this all everyone expect your list to go up 40 points if you have a Master. And
you can't get the Phase Steed on an Apprentice. It has to be an Adept or a Master.
Right. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest. I will never understand if you're just taking Apprentices, but that's a different story.
I saw some stuff like, I can take like 6 different Apprentices, and there's my chaff. I'm like, all you, man. All you. So
I'll never understand it.
No. Lores haven't changed. Div, Druid, and Shamanism.
Yep, so same as they've always been.
And the Wizard Master. So one thing with Sainted is Sainted had a maximum cap of 200 points. Your Wizard Master is already 200 points. Everyone else is 100. So if you want a Sainted Adept, more power to you.
Question mark. I question why that would be a thing, but okay.
It makes it Discipline 9. You can make your Damsel your General with Stand Behind.
That's fair. That's... peasant lists. All right.
All right, next page.
Equitaine Lord. Now, if he's Sainted, he is Discipline 10, correct?
No.
No? Okay. No, Discipline's at 9, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Different rule.
Two things. One, this can be your BSB.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the magic allowance. Your Lord...
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens with Marshals. If you take the BSB option, you go from 150 to 100 point item decrease.
And if you're Sainted, you can go up to 200. But you're only allowed one Sainted in the entire army.
In the army list, yeah. And being Sainted costs 120 points to begin with.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yep.
The Hippogriff costs 210. That hasn't changed. I think that's appropriate considering what it now does. And I really, really like, I've said it several times, I love how there's difference between the Griffin, background-wise, and the Hippogriff. So now it makes sense. And the more I've gotten into the background and learned more about the background is this is its own unique game. It has different background, different stories, and I really hope to see it published.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty standard. This is just, a lot of it's there. We'll get into what the Destrier.
Destier.
I'm going to say that. Sure, whatever you just said.
Destier.
And we'll get to the Destrier and the Facey because those are the newer mounts.
No, Destier is a warhorse.
Oh.
It's an
Never
actual
mind then.
type of
They
horse
went to
that
the
was a
face
warhorse.
I don't know what that is. Look, it just sounded cooler. I'm like, must be something they added.
All right.
All right, so that's your warhorse. Yeah, no, this is very similar to the old ones. Paladin.
Not a leader.
I like that. I do like that.
And can't be the BSB.
Yep, I do like that. So if you do take that, you want him just there solely to go on a crusade and kill you.
Yep, but
and he loses courage, which I kind of like too.
He goes to honesty instead.
Yeah.
So look,
I think that's fine.
But look at how many points he is.
Oh, he's expensive as fuck.
Yeah. All right, and he it's not, and even if he's running at only 400 points, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cheap. It's like, yeah, but that's 400 points, and now where's my BSB? Where's my general?
Where's my BSB? My general
and my mage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running him as a. I mean, if you're running him, there is your paladin hippogriff character out to hunt for blood. That's that. If I'm having someone hunt for blood, it's a paladin. Yeah, I think the paladin's fine. Yep. I think that should be, to get all those extra things, you have to give up quite a bit for your standard list.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I've been finding. So I've been running the BSB Lord General Sainted and the Lord BSB.
Right.
And no, right. I am actually really tight on points. Extremely tight on points.
Oh yeah, if you got your general, your mage, and your BSB, that takes up so many points just there.
Yeah.
You could fit a paladin in there, but he's going to be on a horse and not nearly kitted out the way you should. But yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. Folk hero.
Look at the number of attacks and look at the discipline, because that was something you said earlier.
Let me see. This one 8. That's not terrible, actually. This one 8's not the worst. I mean, it's better than I'm assuming the normal peasants are, which I'm assuming they're still 6.
Yeah, they are 6. They were 5.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, an extra commanding presence at leadership 8 is completely understandable. That makes perfect sense. I mean, realistically, everything here, this is like the old Castellan, all things considered.
Well, here's the thing: is 1 attack.
I didn't say he was good. I just said there. Yeah, but I mean, no one took a Castellan for his ability to fight. They took him to be even more banners than static combat res.
Well, he has to become a Castellan, and if someone says, "Oh, why would a cleric be a knight?" I'm like, well, no, there are several reasons why clerics would become knights.
There's a whole.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
Too.
Exactly. Look at the longbow.
3 shots. I like that, actually.
There's your Robin Hood. If that's what you're looking at.
I have no clue why they'd be Robin Hood, but sure, okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of different things, and I like the Heraldic Steed that you can turn around and do. He can only have light armor.
Right. I think this is fine. I think he's a lovely little guy.
Yeah.
And those are your 3 characters. That's not bad. So we got damsels, lords, and folk heroes.
Now remember what you said about the Quinn being a steal. That's now 190 points.
Oh no, I said it was a trap. No. I don't think the Quinn is a steal at all. I think for 190 points, just basically off that, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. There's different things you can do, but all
depends. I think if you want an adept on witchcraft, that's fine. I guess witchcraft pairs well with divination. If I was going to do it personally,
and it goes well with the cavalry.
No, it does. But I would pair druidism and shamanism together in some way, shape, or form, and then I'd pair divination and witchcraft together if I had to. Because I feel like those are the ways I would personally. Because divination and witchcraft are kind of good for playing off of each other, like shamanism and druidism are.
Yep.
But that's different. That's a different story entirely. But both of which are completely fine. Let's take a look at the mounts.
Okay, let's go ahead and.
Okay, the I'm calling it a fucking pony. The pony, standard thing. So all your guys are going to basically get a 2-up armor save base, heavy armor.
So the Heraldic Steed is something to look at. It's got hard target. It's got impact hits. I
like that it's fly 10. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's only March 14.
Right. No, I like that. I think that it's good. It's good for charging, and it's not great for marching, which I do like.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure we avoided was we can't have avoidance lists.
Right. I mean, you could have avoidance lists, but no one likes avoidance lists.
Well, they
There's
suck.
a difference there. Yeah, I understand.
But no, so far I really like it. I like how it also vanguards.
Yeah, I like that it goes with the vanguarding, so you can
Yep.
add that in your unit of Pegasi.
No, Pegasus don't vanguard.
Pegasus don't vanguard? We can't give them the option for that anymore?
No.
Ooh, never mind then.
All right.
So you could. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. The unicorn. Does it still have? The unicorn still has MR2.
And it's still MR2, still Forest Guide, so still Strider Forest.
I mean, absolutely necessary when you're playing a whole bunch of Nighty Knights.
I like the trees.
I mean, everyone likes the tree. Everyone likes the trees. No one wants to go in the trees.
But remember how expensive. I'm just going to flip back a few pages here, going back to the damsel. So first off, the unicorn's all over the place now for different things. It's 90 points, so we actually increased the points of that.
Because it can be taken by more than one thing.
Yep, by the damsel. For the Equitaine Lord, let's see here. It is 95 points. It looks like.
Right, but now to that point, the Revered Unicorn only gives you +1 extra armor, which I do like.
Yep.
I do like that. So basically, if you want to have... Yeah, it makes it... I mean, I guess it doesn't make it hard, but if you want the Unicorn, you have to buy the Unicorn plus that new item that gives you +2 armor save and a shield, essentially, to get a 1-up armor save. Which I think is actually fair.
But then you're not using a great weapon.
Well, no, not if you're using great weapon. I'm talking if you just want your normal lance and shield nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
but no, if you're going that way, remember, it can only be a saint or a paladin who can do that, too.
For the Revered Unicorn, that's fair.
So, no, I think that's very appropriate.
Realistically, your general is going to probably be sainted, all things considered.
Maybe.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
All right, I'm on Pegasus Charger now.
Yep, it's Peg Knights. They're back.
Yes, Peg Knights are still there. We actually increased the number of wounds to Peg Knights to 3.
I mean, that's what they should have been for ages.
It was that company that shall not be named legacy.
Yeah, I know. I think 3 wounds is fine for them. They damn sure need the 3rd wound.
Yeah, it says hard target here. I'm not sure if it actually has hard target or not. I
think hard target makes sense if you're having a fairly mobile horsey bird thing.
Yeah. I don't. We'll have to get to that. So let's not talk about that because I'm not sure if that's going to stick. If, like I said, as my original disclaimer, is this may not be accurate, but 2 attacks. Basically, the peg hasn't changed.
The peg is the same thing. Same thing with the Hippogriff.
Yep.
I do like the Relentless.
No, I was going to say the Hippogriff has changed. Does not let it have Devastating Charge +1 attack +1 AP, or just +1 attack.
It's got the. It does have the. What is it called? Oh, Relentless. I like Relentless. I think that's cool.
It's supposed to be a stubborn ass bird.
I mean, yep.
And to your point, I think your 2 mounts you're going to see with KOE on their generals, especially if it's an Equitaine Lord or a Paladin, it's going to be one of these 2.
I think I like the Face Steed. I do. I think the Face Steed is cool.
Yep.
I am not 100% sold on running this thing as a solo model, but I have ideas.
But it's a large mismatching base size.
That's not mismatching.
Yes, it is.
Is it mismatching? It might be mismatching.
55 by 75.
It is mismatching. You're right. I'm thinking the front of it's good.
Yep.
Okay. Then my idea just went slightly sideways because I can't math. Yeah, honestly, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the face. I have ideas. I love that it's got Ghost Step and Face Spirit.
It's +1 Aegis.
Yep. I like that it's got Fear. Like this is kind of cool. Like I love how you can basically make a character version of a Green Knight. All intents and purposes.
Yeah. Now here's the thing is so there is we'll get to the Fae and which does have two knights in there. One big difference though is that section because of the rider, does not have a breath attack. Where this one, because this has a human rider, does have a breath attack because it took less energy to come over across the veil.
I also do kind of like. I do think I would almost argue the face seat's more ergonomical than the Hippogriff. Honestly.
Oh, you see my model from Brian. I mean, I love that thing. And honestly, to your point, I like the Relentless. But now you've got a really good case to forget about the Hippo and go with the Phase Steed.
It's so easy to get a 4 board save on this thing.
But then again, if you want your armor and your Sainted and all that jazz,
if
you can go Peg.
The same amount of armor with.
There's a reason to go with any of those 3 mounts.
That's fair. I don't. Well, first of all, let's be real. I think the Peg is the weaker of the choices here, unless you're shoving them into a unit. But I mean, you could. Hippogriffs are always. They're not. Hippogriffs add a lot more grind because Strength 5 AP3 is just. And
Towering Presence.
And Towering Presence, which I do not believe the Face Steed has, which
does not.
Well, the Towering Presence can be a bonus and a deterrent.
Yes.
I see Face Steeds being good cowboy-esque sort of things.
Which was kind of the intention.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to move on to the next page here. So here we are now looking at the core and Feudal Knights. Same stat lines as the old ones. Nothing has changed. Except we did not talk about lance formation. And the reason why the bannerets have come to be is because the lance formation did do a very big change. And I think it's good time to talk about it now with Feudal Knights. So first off, those in lance formation, or those with lance formation, get an additional supporting attack. Where before it was only the Grails out of the Slim Book. Now it's any model with lance formation.
Right, so more attacks. Yay!
However, it did all them lost. Every single bust lost the ability to gain static combat res, with the exception of their banners. Which to me makes sense, considering I always think of like the knights with the pennons streaming in the wind and things like that. You know, basically, for anyone who's ever watched the movie King Arthur at the very end, like with the knights riding in, that's what I always picture.
Fair.
And
a whole bunch of banners.
Yep. And Phil, you've mentioned it a couple different times previously about the bannerets, the stacking the banners and things like that. But I think after playing, and you know how many times you and I have played, I think that 5. So if you go in with a BSB and a banner, that's 2, and then you can get 3 ranks. One of which, let's say, is a Legion standard. Although, why would you have that? Because 15. Let's see, it'd be 3, 6, 9, 12. I guess technically you could go in with a Legion standard. I wouldn't on a unit of Knights of the Realm, but
normally.
But that's still 5 combat res. That's been knocked down to 2, 3 if you have a banneret. So you've lost 2 combat res right there. And
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I said yeah. I'm agreeing with you.
And Feudal Knights, as I said, they haven't changed, so I don't think that they have a lot of hitting power per se.
I mean, they hit on the charge, but that's what they've always done. On the charge, they hurt. Not on the charge, they don't hurt as much.
Offensive, defensive 4. Let's say you've got 12 attacks, because again, it's line formation. Lance formation. Those with lance formation also gain an additional fight an extra rank. And line formation gives you an additional fight an extra rank. So now you're always swinging win 4 ranks.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming that they'll do, on average, if we're assuming a unit of 12, figure 5-6 wounds at strength 6 against your standard top 4 stuff.
Okay. Even against your general res 3 stuff after any type of save or anything like that. I mean, you figure 12 attacks, 6 hits.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
About 4 to 5 wounds.
Yep. I was going 5 because I'm assuming the champ gets the extra attack. Assuming you have a champ, I just assume the champ will have an extra attack that'll swing it to more towards 6. But
that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, the horses are still strength 4 on the charge.
No, they're strength 4 all the time, AP 0.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, and against most infantry, they'll probably do a couple extra. Horses get a couple extra wounds. Well, usually a extra wound through.
So how many times has my unit of Knights of the Realm been able to just? I mean, that's what, 6 combat res?
Nah, Knights of the Realm don't usually blow through stuff on attack. They usually rely on combat res, but like you said, with the lance formation, that changes significantly now.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see how people adapt with this, because I'm not sure if they're going to play them in the big buses they used to, or use them more as flankers.
I don't know. I mean, they're still only discipline 8.
Right, but I mean, you could have units of 9. I'm thinking like some almost pseudo darks.
Yeah,
is what I was thinking.
Yeah, very possibly. I see it going either. I can see running him all different ways. I can see running it as just as an MSU with maybe musicians. For those flankers. The problem is you lose a wound. There's a nerf to the druidism. So no matter what, you're only getting 1 model back unless you're casting Summer Growth, which has a high casting value, and therefore, if you know your opponent's going to be casting that, you're going to sit on your dice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No one need a bunch of 2-up armor save, 6-up ward save, /5-up ward save, depending if you use the Orison or not.
Well, you have to have a character within 8 inches too.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't disagree.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I'm curious to see how the core is going to shift, because I mean the Feudal Knights are the same, and people have run the Feudal Knights a whole bunch of different ways. Normally they run them in a bus just to break steadfast, but I mean there's actually a lot of potential here for just some MMU shenanigans. I don't think MSU is good, but I think MMU might be good for these.
I see MMU, MSU, and FLU. I think that's the proper terminology. FLU?
No clue about that one.
I don't know, but basically full units.
Oh, full units. Oh.
The reason why is, let's say you throw a character in there with Justice.
Oh yeah. I mean, characters change the output of any unit.
But that's what you have to consider. So.
Oh no, I don't disagree.
And
they're a good versatile core choice, all things considered.
Very much so. So I want to absolutely see what the community does. Ordo Sergeant. So aspirants are gone, by the way. Absolutely gone.
They were kind of replaced with these guys, right?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
So strength 3, and their horses. If you notice, the horse is different. These are Ramses versus the Destiers.
I'm guessing they're more in line with just the not super bred horses. So they're more standard horse. Yeah, strength 3, offense 3, agility 3. So they're your standard ponies.
Exactly. So these were actually, I think the names were given to us by Matty P, who is really, I mean, I think that's his job, is equestrian.
Cool.
So he's been dealing with horses since he was a kid, and gave us a bunch of these names. And we did that on purpose to show the difference between a knight's mount and a normal knight. So Ordo, the term Ordo is another way to say church.
Right. They're essentially like pseudo ministers, if memory serves.
Well, no, they're church cavalry.
Oh, okay.
Ordo definition. I'm looking it up per the a list of offices and feasts of a Roman Catholic Church for each day of the year. I don't know. That's it's a medieval Latin order.
They're church-based knights.
Church-based cavalry. They're not knights. Big difference. So,
fair enough.
In order to make them give that sense of feel, again, because they are church-based, they have honesty, which sets them apart from courage.
Right.
Look at their armor.
Yeah, but say they're one less armor save if I'm looking at this correctly.
And then look at their weapons.
So they don't have traditional lances, or they can choose great weapons.
Yep.
I like great weapons on anything personally. So.
And because
they're only 4-up armor save though.
Yeah, 4-up armor save, 6-up Aegis, so they're meh. But they do have hatred.
That's always nice. Hatred's always nice.
Throw that order. Go ahead.
And the minister himself can heal a wound per round, I think.
Magic phase.
Magic phase. Okay.
Per player's magic phase. Not yours, not my opponent's, but my magic phase. But I can only do, I think, one. You know what? Let's just double check that. I'm going to flip back through the book here real quick.
I got it.
Oh,
I'm already looking it up.
Here we go. Model gains +1 health. No single. Unit. No, your single unit can recover. So you can recover 1 wound per single unit. So if you have multiple of these, you can do it several times. It looks like. However, you can't use the Druidism attribute either.
See, I like that. That's a good little caveat because, I mean, I would never know anyone that's purposely abused Fountain of Youth repeatedly as a player for no reason whatsoever.
I've never done such a thing to you, ever.
Not you. I've not. Screw that. My tree list abuses the crap out of that attribute.
Fair enough.
Unnecessarily, I abuse the shit out of that one.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Oh God, no! I've had someone do 12 wounds to my avatar in one game, and he was still alive. It was so bad. But yeah, no, I like that. I like that you can't do it with druids. Now, if memory serves, you can target a character in this unit, correct?
You can't target unit champ.
No. But if you have like a character, like a damsel's taking a wound, she jumps in here for health point. No,
read it again.
Health point up to a model gains a health point. Model's unit or a model inside the model's unit.
Yeah.
So if you have a damsel inside the unit, that's a model inside the model's unit. No.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if my damsel took a wound, you could heal the damsel.
Yes, and that's what. Sorry.
That was the question.
Sorry, I thought you were saying you could do the Druidism attribute if you had a character.
No. That was made clear. No, I'm talking like if you have. See, I kind of like these guys just as like damsel bunkers. That just seems like something they would do.
You know what? I've used them a couple times, and they're not bad. They're real. They're growing on me, and for their points,
they're not bad for their points at all.
Yeah, I mean,
they're essentially medium cavalry. Yep. Which because KOE never really had medium cavalry.
So this I think opens up modeling for KOE players, allows you to take different type of models like what were those things? The Highland miniatures with the Corsairs what?
I'm honestly thinking of Mantic Nuns on the Panthers because I know you have those and that just seems very well for these.
That's actually what I plan on using them for. And I know.
That I think that's a really good fit for the Ordo Sergeants.
If you have what is it? The Men at Arms from Fireforge, I think is another option for these as well.
I love Fireforge, but I will be so honest with anyone that's thinking if you're going to buy Fireforge, you can do it. Just make sure you have a complete Fireforge army because the scaling is really wonky.
Well, they're like Perry miniatures. They're small.
Yeah. They're true scale, they're not a heroic scale.
Yeah, they're true 28 millimeter, so they fit on their base versus the 32 millimeters, which is actually what we always think of when we think of that company that shall not be named.
Oh yeah, it says GW essentially made heroic. Yeah,
you named that company.
That's what we are. You can take it all you want, but it's going to be what it is. They're based most of it off, unfortunately.
Yep.
The models, anyway.
Yep. So the other thing is I like the Order Minister, the special champion.
Yeah, I like him too. I think it's an interesting little mechanic.
And also, no magic banner.
Yes, I did notice that on it, and that kind of makes sense, I guess. They're not like these guys are a very nice like medium support unit. Yep. And I kind of like them like that. They're interesting little things. These guys.
Yep. And again, a lot of this was definitely background driven. So, all right, let's go ahead. So,
I have a question. When someone is born low, would that not be what one would call peasantry? Question for you. I'm just saying. When I think lowborn, I think someone beneath me, like I don't know, a peasant maybe.
No. So here's the thing: is when you start thinking of knights looking down their noses and everything else that we used to think of with this army, that's not the case. Lowborn just means they're not nobility.
Okay.
That's all that means.
So, like the high elves looking down on the other elves because they're higher born.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So here's the thing: is when it comes to being a saint, you can be a peasant lowborn.
Mhm.
You could be a member of the church. You can be a knight. Where before there was always the knights who drank from the Grail.
Okay.
Okay, the lady loves everyone, which is also why everyone has a 6-up Aegis.
Right. So, but other than that, I'm noticing these are, like, all joking aside, these are essentially the same stat line as peasants. If I'm reading this correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
halberds are free, shields, and so basically, if you want to pay a point per model for a shield and a halberd, I don't know why you would do that, but okay.
No. Well, or just shield for parry purposes.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, you were talking target. Okay, understood. Understandable. That's fair.
All right.
Oh, I see. I choice of one only escaped my sight. Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, they're there, and the lowborn archers are essentially the same basic principle as the current peasant archers for all intents and purposes.
Double check
Although
those rules.
I like the fact that for each siege weapon you can have one less unit of archers, so you can't spam them.
Exactly, because again, we as KOE, first off, that's Empire. You want a gun line? That's an Empire build. That's the Empire style human army. Okay. And we didn't want that. You can still take 90 archers plus. You still have what were called brigands in Slim. They're called hooded men in this one.
Right.
So there are still other things you can do to use your models, but
Right.
not at the same time. However, the defensive stakes with the wall, you know how many times people would
I like that. I think that's rather clever.
I think it's done very elegantly. Trust me when I say it was a work in progress, because that wall was definitely an issue. Like, how many times, Phil, and you played KOE for a little bit until Ryan scared your army off the board and never to return.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
It might make an appearance after this. No, we'll see.
I don't know. I don't think that's high enough resilience for you. But
for me.
But here's the thing: is with the archers, how many times people say, "Okay, that wall provides hard cover," and you have to sit there. No, it doesn't. Or they just roll dice and they simply assume it's one thing or the other, and it's like, no, that's not what it does. Or they're like, "Okay, your unit moved. Time to take it away." I'm like, "No, wrong game."
Yeah, it just stays there. I like the defensive stakes. I think it's an interesting little rule.
And what about?
I like the expert bowman rule too.
Yep. So
they don't come with expert bowmen unless they are longbows, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So a lot of strength 3. Again, this army cannot field anything the way, say, Sylvan Elves can, in terms of numbers.
Right.
And at the same token, is they don't have the higher strength, higher AP as Sylvan Elves.
Right. They're essentially like a unit of 30 might kill off a unit of chaff.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, I didn't say. Yeah, I mean, yes. That's the whole point. If you're lucky.
Yeah. And again, the accurate. So instead of hitting on 5s, normally you'd hit on 4s. Okay.
I'm curious, how do these ones compare with highborn elf archers? Because I mean, I feel like accurate. Even if you don't move. And granted, you shouldn't really have to move, but I'm curious. Actually, I'm curious how that's going to change. I wonder how many of these we're going to see.
How many highborn elf archers do you see now, other than Seaguard?
Well, that's the thing. I'm just curious how the points are, comparatively speaking, to the highborn elf archers as they are now.
Well, then you got discipline, martial discipline, lightning reflexes. There's a lot of.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot of different things that go into that. So.
I guess that's also fair because I are 3+ base. I think. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. All
right. All right, so Cora's, besides the Ordo Sergeants, everything else looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah, not I won't lie, not a lot has changed. However, discipline for those of us who have played KOE for a long, long time, discipline 6 instead of 5.
That is on the lowborns. That's good.
Yep, they actually now have an Aegis save.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ordeal, so again it's 6+ unless you use an Orison, but no matter what, it's capped out at 5. Or they'll be 5+ if in a multi-combat with courage or honesty. So if multiple peasant fighting in a single combat, I'm sorry, you're up a creek without a paddle. You go ahead and give them throw a knight in there or something like that from another unit. Now they get kicked up to a 5+ Aegis.
Standard tar pit-esque kind of. I mean, I would imagine they're kind of the levies are more of a standard tar pit-esque kind of deal.
Yeah, I still think they're going to turn around and bleed combat res. That's my fear with them, is they just bleed combat res.
They've always did. They're there to slow you down long enough for something harder hitting to get to them.
Exactly, and that's why
that's always been their role, though.
Yep, unless you're Joel playing a peasant armada.
He was not the only one to do that. There were a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be dusting off their peasants again. I'm telling you. I'm calling it now.
It's only gone up 1 discipline, which is why. And now you don't have the discipline share unless you take that one character.
Right. Oh no, I know. I think it's just an interesting thing because the peasant revolt is absolutely a thing again, and I'm curious to see if it's going to be as big of a problem as it once was.
I hope
it was
not. That's all.
Damn sure.
I hope not. All right.
I hope not either. But
Men at Arms.
Men at Arms, my favorite models.
So Men at Arms. First off, the unit itself has Ordeal.
Right.
So
that can change if from looking at the upgrades you can give them.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right, Knights Forlorn. This is where I'm. I love Knights Forlorn. They were always my favorite unit out of everything in the KOE. I like them that the model loses Ordeal and gains Courage and Bastard Swords. Victory, so Strength 5 at Initiative 3. Yeah, they're Initiative 3 now. That makes sense. First round of combat, and it's going to count as charging. Okay, so that's their same thing they had before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you charge me, you don't get your special lance stuff.
It's not the same.
No. On the first round of combat, as opposed to all the time.
Yes, which I think is a big difference.
It is, because I would just throw them out there, and I'd be like, I charge you in the flank with my Knights of Rima. You're adorable. Yeah. I'm like, you're adorable. Let's go.
Yep.
I like the Ordo. So these guys are more of your Strength 6 guys. Honesty is pretty good. Honesty is only against magic attacks, though, right?
Correct, but look what they also do.
They get Orison.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have Orison. The Orison's good.
And
so
then
the Orison realistically will give them, if they're fighting something with magic attacks, a 4 forward save, and if they're not fighting something with magic attacks, they're getting a 6
up.
Yeah. And what's their heavy armor shield? But the great weapons they can't use. Yeah, I'm thinking personally, because I know great weapons were God damn it. Great weapons they used to have with the shield, but they don't have them, so they're 5 up armor save. I can see the Ordo. I'm curious. I think the Ordo Wardens die like flies. I honestly think.
If I'm playing that style army, remember the damsels now have stand behind on everything.
I think just between the two, I don't know why you would take Ordo Wardens over Knights Forlorn.
Strength 6 AP3 versus Strength 5 AP1.
Again, throw a Rennie banner on there, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I guess I like the fact that the damsel can stand behind him too, which is really nice.
Yeah, I think it's going to open up play styles. I think you're going to see both of them played. I mean, heck, I was just playing against Sylvan Elf Army, and all of a sudden Dryads, and the character goes into the flank in my Ordo Cavalry, and I used an Orison, and he goes, oh, crap. I mean, they broke and ran, but it made them think twice.
Right. So, let's see. But yeah, I think that I love the Knights Forlorn, all things considered. I'm going to have 2 units of 30. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care if we're supposed to have ponies.
Now here's the thing: is you can only have no more than 2 units of these for that very purpose. This is a knight-oriented.
I've never seen someone take more than 2 units of them.
Well, now you won't.
Oh no! I'm talking before there was a limit on them. I've never seen someone take. I've seen some people take 2 units. And
I've seen an MSU of like 4 units of 10.
I've never seen the MSU Forlorn. That's interesting. Yeah. I've never seen that. Let's see what else.
Reliquary.
Let's see. What did we do to my other favorite model?
It can no longer leave a unit. Once it's in a unit, it stays there for life.
Unless the unit dies around it, I guess.
Yes.
Technically, that could happen.
Yes.
Fearless. Break test subject. See, where was this when I was playing Ryan, the minimized role? Huh?
Actually, did you miss the first line? Fearless?
No. Well, see, Fearless only works if the majority of the models. Does it give them? Oh, it gives everything Fearless. Never mind.
And so here's the thing: is if you've ever seen the movie Kingdom of Heaven, the best way to think of it is as like there's the main character. He just got captured after defending the castle for the people to make their way in the castle to stay safe from the Saracens. And then you see the Kingdom of Jerusalem's army, and the first thing you see is the great big cross.
Yeah, this is the same basic principle as it, I guess. This is your holy symbol, your thing to give you courage to fight unending odds.
Exactly.
I do like this. I do miss the extra armor save, but that's just because I'm a cheesy bastard.
Yes.
However, overall, I think I like this. It makes sense. I do like the fact that they actually gave it decent offensive stats.
Yes.
Because it damn sure didn't have that before. It's got honesty. I like that. Heavy armor. It's only got a 5 of armor save though. No. It's I see now. I see it. 2 armor base.
Yep. So again, when you think of Men-at-Arms, I guess we were poisoned by that other company because we always think of Men-at-Arms being like really piss poor fighters. Men-at-Arms actually were the trained fighters, the trained soldiers. So that's why
they're equivalent to technically. I believe Men-at-Arms would be equivalent to like. I don't think Imperial Guard is the best way to put it, but I would go with they're probably. I mean, the way you have them here, they're essentially Imperial Guardsmen.
Yes.
Yes, but I mean, I always thought of Men-at-Arms. I never thought of them as the piss poor guys. Except for the company that shall be named because that was just funny. However, I think Men-at-Arms historically have always been somewhere in between, like the professional soldiers and the ragtag.
Well, so knights were basically trained at starting at age 10 on warfare.
No, I'm talking like because I know in the lores, like Imperial Guard are essentially professionally trained soldiers at all times. Men-at-Arms, if I recall correctly, are usually not.
These are your trained household guard.
Yes, okay. Let's see.
Knights. So, do you want to talk about the reliquary anymore, or no?
No, I mean it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is.
I do like that it gives you an Orison token every magic phase, so it's a good
no.
Way
It does
to
not
have...
not every magic phase. Only when it's engaged in combat.
Oh, you're right. I missed that. That's still nice though. And honestly, if this is in combat, you need the token anyway. So I do like that because it's kind of like a built-in. I'm going to get something out of this in combat.
Yeah, it also makes your opponent say, "You must die now."
Yep.
So.
And honestly, it's not particularly hard to kill.
No, it's not. So this way, people who did have their beautifully painted reliquaries can still go ahead and use them. All right, I'm on.
Reliquary, I'm going to keep using.
Yeah. All right. So the Knights Resplendent, which means they're shiny. So these.
Which one are these? Oh, these are the ones that hit like a fucking truck.
So these are your expert jousters. Whenever you think, like someone just posted up on the forums, someone used their very old models and made like a whole terrain and joust going on. These are your professional jousters. That's why they have the name that they have.
Right.
And again, Ground Knights are gone. So we as the task team were trying to figure out like what do we do at this point in time, since the whole premise, the ground lights have been written out. It's a single saint. That's what background's saying, and there's reasons why background's saying that. Where do we go from here? So everyone has these lovely models that have like grails and lances and things like that, and this is where this unit model wise comes in. I really like this unit. I mean, the plus. Go ahead.
I will say, just reading this unit, I just have the picture of, oh lordy, here they come. This is what is going on in my head.
Yes.
They are. So on the charge, they move 9. They get 1 extra attack. With the new lance formation, that means 24 strength 6 attacks.
25 with a champ.
So these are the hammers.
Yes.
They are already here. They coming. They're moving 9. Yeah, hey, offense 5 too. That's pretty good. I think these are defense 4. Okay, so they're all about the pokey poke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I don't think. I'm curious. This is going to be a very fast movie. I can't in my head picture anything on this damn unit except a banner speed. I just can't. This is where I would put a BSB. Yeah.
Well, BSB banner slows it down.
BSB does slow down. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Because the BSB doesn't get the +1 movement, does he?
No.
Oh, that's fair. I could say, but you could put someone on a unicorn in there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which means now you've got a sainted model.
Or a damsel.
That's either an adept or druid or a paladin.
Something to give them Forest Strider so I can give them the banner of speed so they can charge through a goddamn woods without losing 4 of them. That's all. That's all I want.
Well, Forest Rider, you just need to take a standard. Or
yes, I don't care. When I go through a forest without a Strider banner or Forest Strider, I lose 4 knights every time. It's not even a question.
But just remember this. If this unit's fully kitted out with banneret and no magic banners at this point in time, this unit is 715 points.
Oh, I know. They're a very fairly priced. They're a hammer, but they're a fairly priced hammer, and by fairly priced, I mean they're expensive as shit.
Yes, and
if they hit something for 750 points, no banners whatsoever, yeah, they should fucking take it off. That's like a fifth of your army at that point.
And the Thresher engine with Divining Snout will remove this unit,
provided you have something magical in it. But yes.
Well, you just said putting a character. Giving them banners.
Oh no, I stand by that. I stand by the a banner speed on this to make it move 10.
Oh, absolutely. But still, that Thresher engine is also moved with Divining Snouts move 12.
Oh yeah, no, the Thresher engine is a good counter to it.
Absolutely.
But no, I like it. I think this is a. I don't think this is. I'm curious. This is a very fast, very hard hitting unit. Mm-hmm. I think it's a well-designed unit. I do think it's a very well-designed unit. I am honestly not sure if these points are too cheap or if they are too expensive. I'm kind of torn on both. I don't know
either. The few times I've played with this unit, I've really enjoyed it, but most of the times it just sits there and twiddles its thumbs. And
you have to be careful. It's a deterrent almost.
But also remember the Aspirant's Elan, the banner. You don't gain that additional attack.
No, you don't. That falls under the Devastating Charge rule, not under just the +2 strength and whatnot.
Exactly. And
right. No, I don't disagree. I think it's. I'm very, very curious to see if this is going to be one of those everyone takes them units and the points will go up, or it's a meh, no one takes it because they're easily avoided and the points go down.
I don't think you can easily avoid them. I won't lie. My concern is going to be MSU with this.
Oh yeah, well MSU in general, because there's no point in taking a small unit of these. Well, actually, 2 units of 6. That's actually not the worst thing in the world.
No,
I don't know. There's interesting ways with this. I'm curious to see how it shakes out. I don't think they're overly priced, but I don't know if they're. Phrase it. I don't know if they're overly priced or underly priced. I feel like there can't be. They're not well priced. I just don't know which way I would price them.
I think they actually are very well priced. Okay, if anything else, maybe a little bit higher, but maybe a little bit lower. I mean, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think, like I said, I think they're a very well designed unit. I think they do. I think they're designed to do one thing very well. They're designed to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and they all ran out of damn bubblegum.
And they look pretty doing it.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
This is a new unit.
So let's see. Okay. I see weapons.
Yes.
That's an angry ass horse.
So
it's a slower horse.
So again, talking with Matty P, this is where we came up with this horse. First off, we don't want this unit to have a lot of attacks.
Right. This is an anvil. This is the opposite of what we just saw.
And there's a Percheron, I believe I'm saying it right, is kind of what Brandon, who's Echo Control, and I turn around and we started discussing with everybody else, and we started talking with Matty P and everything else, or a draft horse, which is actually, I think, what this is called, the draft horse, is another style. So if you start thinking like the Clydesdale that pulled a Budweiser.
Right. I'm slowly going to the point where they're unstable. That's an interesting.
I'm glad you called that out.
I don't know how I feel about this.
So here's the rationale behind it. Is these men basically need to work their way back into the goddess's good graces, or the god's good graces. So if you notice what's missing, they don't have courage, they don't have honesty, and they don't have ordeal.
Okay. I like that. So they've got a 2-up armor save, and that's goddamn it. They can take a Minister, which I like, so they can heal them up a little bit.
Yes. But that's basically it. They're only discipline 8. And basically, because they're trying to prove themselves to the gods, to the goddess again, they're willing to throw themselves in harm's way and die to try to regain their honor, so to speak.
It's interesting, because they have 2 HP each too. These are some hefty boys.
Well, you figure 250, 8 wounds, but you're only going to get 4 attacks.
I'm maxed. Let me 100 here. I'm maxing out. I'm putting 18 wounds in these bad boys. That ain't even a question.
Okay, that's still only 9 attacks and ponies.
Oh, I know. And I think they're strength 6, so that helps. And the ponies are strength 5, which I do like, actually. That's a nice little... That's interesting. I find this unit very interesting. I think it's another very well-designed unit.
This was one... So for everyone who's listening to this, I mean, please know that the Hero of the People... First off, I got to give hats off to Night One, Ollie, in regards to that. That really stemmed from his brainchild. This here was definitely a labor of love and a lot of compromise on all working parts. The Knight, the Knights above, the Hammer Knights, that really stemmed from Rock, who kind of led our task team, and that's Crocs. And, for someone who doesn't really play KOE, he's very much has the pulse of the people who do play it and basically what they're looking for. And when it came down time for background, look, everyone's got things they like. Everyone has things that they dislike. But overall, I mean, I felt we stayed true with the background and kind of the feel that people expect as well.
Yeah. Now, I have a question. Because they're unstable, that means characters can't join them, correct?
You're absolutely right about that, too.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say, a character in this unit would pose problematic.
And that's the other reason why we put unstable on it, because we did not want to make another rule. And
that's fair.
We don't want characters going into this unit.
That's fair.
Again,
personally, I would change it to deserter. But I mean, it'd be the same. There's no sense in changing the word because it's the same basic principle.
For all you know, he slept with the wrong man's wife, and that's why he's penitent.
I understand. I like the Knights Penitent. I think this will probably be a more underused unit, but I do like the idea of them a lot.
I think this unit will get a lot of love. A lot of love.
Oh, I like this unit. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I like the idea of it.
I think the only thing that I would want to see different on this is I'd want to see a larger base size. Maybe.
Like 40 by 40s?
No, I was actually just thinking like a 30 by 50 or something along those lines, or 40 by 50. Or
no, Negatory Ghost Rider. I'm going to say no to that just for the sole fact that those are some awful base sizes just to come by.
That's true. That's the other thing. Unless your friend, such as Phil, has a 3D printer. I
make all my own bases, but that's a different problem.
But that's also why we kept it as the 2550 is because they shouldn't have. They don't have the bulk, the 3 wounds, and everything else like a Crocodon or things like that have. But there's a little bit more meat to their bones, and the reason why we gave them the heavy armor with the 3-up armor or with the horse is they spent all their money, all their funds to go ahead and get the larger horse, and basically they're putting all their money into their combat.
That's fair. And like I said, I think this is the perfectly fine designed unit. I'm not sure how they'll fall out with other things. They are a little bit slow for a KOE army with the 7 and 14. But I like the cut of their jib. I'll find a way to use them.
Next unit. So Knights of the Quest we've changed them a little bit since you've seen them. There's no more completing the quest.
I like the stuff in these guys. These are hands down, I would argue, the best knights in your book.
And they're supposed to be the best knights in our book.
I know. Their points, yeah. So things like have 10 model. 10 model seems weird.
So here's the thing: that's typically going to max you out at 1 fighting character and a damsel for a unit of 12.
Okay, fair. I was wondering if there was a reason for 10 instead of 12, but that's one. So you don't want them to ever really reach a full 4 ranks.
Exactly. I mean, let's be honest. This is you take a unit of 10. That's 21 attacks.
Yeah, these guys are fucking badasses. Insert meme of we've got a badass here.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys, I like. Let me see. I'm going to reread the quest.
Why don't you reread the quest? Everyone, pause for a moment. If we're moving too fast, please hit pause on the video as well. It's a very unique, special rule. So let's go ahead. Let's think about this. This unit has you name your opponent's unit. So if you see if you want common orcs, if you want Wasteland Warriors or anything. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said Nightly Orders. I run a bunch of those, so yeah, that's what everyone would.
Actually, no, because if you have multiple Nightly Orders, yes. But if you,
but yes, I like these guys. I think last time we played them, they were much cheaper too. So I think their new points cost is definitely something I approve of more of now.
Oh yeah, and the thing is the reroll to wound and lethal strike. So that to me is clutch. So if you have multiple units of, let's say, common orcs, and I choose common orcs, then I get rerolls to wound against all those common orcs.
Smack them real good.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter how many units there are. That's what I have. Right. The fact that they're only AP1, AP2 on the charge, because of Light Lance.
Right.
But they're never better than a Strength 5.
This is where you put all your rending banners, folks.
Well, you can only take 1 rending banner unless you put one on your BSB, in which case your BSB only has 100 points of magic items.
Oh, I mean, I would just put 2. I would just put 2 rending banners. Honestly, well, I would take 2 units of these badasses, but I don't know if I could take you. They're expensive.
They're very expensive.
Yep, they are. That's fair. So these Knights of the Quest are kind of. I think they're a good in between actually from the old Grail Knights and the new and the old Questing Knights. They're a good middle ground to them.
So again, well, just bear with me one sec. They are 2 attacks each. They get the extra attacks, and with the multiple ranks, up to 4 ranks can go ahead if they're in Lance formation. They are offensive, defensive 5, strength 4, res 4. And the reason why, and people are like, well, come on, they're Knights of the Quest. They haven't completed the quest yet. Why are they res 4? There actually is a background reason why they're res 4.
Because they're tough and they go on a lot of quests?
Yes, no.
Okay, that's what I'm assuming. I'm just not 100% sure.
No. As they start to go out and complete their quest, that the goddess can have different quests for different people. Like you could be Mother Teresa, you could be Joan of Arc. Anything, either one will do.
Right.
But as you start to complete your quests, to prove yourself worthy of the goddess for her total for gifts, she starts imbuing you with some of her power.
Right.
That's why this unit is res 4, where the other units are res 3, with the one exception of the penitent, and that's only because of their mount.
Right. Okay. I think they make sense. I like them. I think. Yeah, they're just a good unit. Like here is the I expect to see this a lot.
I think they're going to be tough for people to get used to. I think it's going to come down to higher level versus lower level. I think it's going to be a hard unit to master. But once you master it, it's going to be like, oh dear God, you don't want anything to do with them.
I mean, realistically speaking, they're just a better middle ground. Like they're more useful in more situations. Like, because I will say, in some situations, I would absolutely love to have the Knight's Pendant.
Yep.
In other situations, that absolutely have I feel like I could see myself using the Knight's Quest in a lot more scenarios because of their general jack of all tradeness.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But they're also only discipline 8.
That's fair. But aren't most Knights discipline 8 though?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are fearless as well, which is a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, we've all been. If any of you have played Fearless, you know it's great until someone catches you in the flank or catches you in the ass, and then you're sad. And
then they're no longer fearless.
So then they're just dead. No, I like those. I like the Quest Knights. I think because for free drops, when I first played these, it was before we tried to price them, and they were much cheaper than.
Oh my God, they were like 100 points cheaper, I think.
They were. I think they were 40 points base cost, and they were only like 50 points. They were so much cheaper. Anyway, but yeah, no, I like these guys. I think they're going to be. I know they're going to be a good unit.
All right. So here's the thing: for 10 of them, and remember, there's no divine attacks here or anything like that. Where with the Grail Knights, they had divine, and you throw a flaming banner on them, and it's like, oh dear God, you're going to light someone up. I don't care who.
For a fully kitted out unit with Knight Banneret, before you add any extra banners, aren't they roughly 600 points?
675. They're almost 700 points.
Okay, yeah, that's before banners, and that honestly, I think I think that's a steal for everything these guys do.
I wouldn't say steal, but I think it's. I don't know if it's up or down at this point in time.
That's fair.
I don't know.
I think another well-designed unit, but unlike the Pendant Knights, which I think are like I think they're pretty much they're good as they are. I think it's the same thing with the Knights of Splendor. I don't know for Knights of the Quest. They're probably going to go up. They're probably going to go down. I don't know which way it's going to go yet. But I think they're very well. I don't see anything particularly game breaking. I mean, the quest might prove more problematic than initially thought, but I don't see it being problematic personally. Personally, I hate it because Lethal Strike is bad for most of the armies I play. That's why I don't like it.
But here's the thing: is if I'm going against a unit of owls, I want the ones that can have the faster charge range.
See, I disagree. I'd want the ones that are consistently strength 5 because elves don't have armor for shit.
Yeah, that's why I don't care if they're strength 4 or strength 5.
Well, strength 5 means you're wounding almost every. Oh, sorry, strength 5, you're wounding every elf on 2, and also I think even if you have the Knights Resplendent, even if you're faster, you still get hit first anyway. So I'd rather just be strength 5 all the time.
Well, we'll get to some elf haters here in a moment, but
Fair enough.
Let's move on to Knights of the Court.
Knights of the Court. Okay, interesting. Bodyguard. Oh, you got a stubborn unit.
This is Feudal Knights. Flat out, they're Feudal Knights.
They're Feudal Knights with Bodyguard. Okay. All right, so they're not great.
One of a kind. And this whole purpose is basically one thing, and I think we've all heard this, is KOE is very hard to use for new players.
Yes.
And people have brought up, well, this unit's going to get used as a Death Star. I personally wouldn't touch this unit. But
here's as someone who's made a Death Star or 2 in his day.
That's mild.
That's putting it very mildly, yes. So I see this being a problem just because I know the kind of defensive characters you can make with this.
True.
Like, if I was this, I would have someone sainted that's not my general. I would saint a fucking damsel. I don't know.
But remember, she's the one who gains bodyguard. You challenge, she declines because she has stand behind. She does not have. She cannot be target of refusal.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that? You spoke a bunch of words. I was only half listening. So if I challenge, she can't challenge.
So go back to damsel again.
Okay.
If I issue a challenge and there's no one else to accept, and she declines, she gets sent to the back. She's no longer bodyguard.
Oh no, that's fine. But you see, that's the thing. I would have her be sainted.
Yeah.
And then I would have my general with courage in there as well. And just be like, I'm not going fucking any. And my general would be the reroll armor save 5 up board save douche.
But now that's over 1,000 points of characters.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not cheap. I'm saying good luck getting through it. This is a very, I can see ways of making this a very, very hard anvil. Like something where you're never getting through. Almost.
Oh, I disagree that you won't get through it. And as a matter of fact,
by the time you do get through it, you've considerably won, or you've made your points back in spades.
Oh, well, no, because all the KOE points are here.
Not all of them, but I think it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about giving KOE a bodyguard unit. I don't think I feel bad about it. I don't think
you win. I don't think you win.
I mean, you never have. So the thing with bodyguard units, I've found that you often don't need to win. You just need to hold on long enough to not lose.
But they don't have the damage output. Like let's take Imperial Guard.
Oh no, I'm not saying they're gonna. I'm not saying you have to beat them. They hold on because of the armor, the ward, and I'm assuming a general that will never.
But what I'm saying is that I, as a player, though, I will never win the game.
I disagree. I think you could. I'm not sure if I personally would play them because this is not generally how I would play KOE because I'm stupid to run a Cavalry Empire list and a foot slogging KOE list because I've got my life backwards. But I think this is interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about these. I mean, the actual models themselves are very lackluster besides the bodyguard and the Sworn Companion.
Well, I literally like the Sworn Companion rule where, and it's what makes sense to me, is if you get down to 3 models, then you can't pick a model out.
Right. That's always made sense to me with Cav or KOE in general.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And that always makes sense to me.
So I do like that aspect.
See, I like that. I'm not. So correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, I have to kill the unit around them, right?
or the character, or the general, or the sainted. In which case, it has to be a sainted or general with courage.
Right, but in addition, there must be 50. So, are we for sword and companions? Are we talking just shooting? Because the way I'm reading this is, I can't hit you unless there's 3 models or less. I can't hit any of your characters.
It's only for well, no, it's for range attacks. So if you have focus, and remember, if you're in hand to hand, it's always it's not it's hits distribution, attack distribution. That's different.
Okay. That's a bit confusing to me because I read that as you can't hit anyone in close, like you can't hit any of my characters in close combat.
No.
Okay. Might want to look at rewording that in the future edition, but okay. Then I have less complaints. Then we're good. Then
okay.
I'm like, wait a second.
In which case, that's the thing is that's how you beat this unit. You turn around, you hit a flank, the damsel's exposed, she goes away.
Right, you have to basically play this as if you have to pick out characters.
Yeah, and because it's a Feudal Knight unit, it's maximum 12 models, 12 wounds.
Right.
It's designed to be tough, but it's not an impossible nut to crack.
No, it's not. It's just you have to be very careful when approaching something like this because you can make a mean Death Star with this.
Yeah, I agree.
You can make a real mean Death Star with this. That's a healthy chunk of ew.
I would probably expect points to go up on this, but for right now,
I'm curious how many people will play around with the unit. I think this is a good starting point. I'm not sure because I can also see people not using this because again, some people don't want to play Death Stars, or some people would like to spread their characters out, which is fine. Then you're obviously not going to use this. I think this could be a very big points nut. Here is where, by the way... It is
points nut. I do give you that. Absolutely.
Here's where I would have a Knight Banneret, a Standard, and a BSB. I'd have 4 banners just fucking rocking in this. I'd be like, come get me, bro.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what people have said. I'm like, all right, then I'm going to kill the rest of your army. I'm going to circle back, and I'll deal with you then.
And that's fair. And that's completely fair. I'm curious to see how these ones play. These are the ones I'm not... This is the first one I'm not sure on the design choice because just Bodyguard is... Bodyguard, first of all, I find is just an overused mechanic in this game anyway, which I don't particularly like.
Which is why we only have one unit.
Well, most people only have one. I just wish Bodyguard is just so fucking good. It's so fucking good. It's almost foolish not to take something with Bodyguard if you have it. But that's a different story.
I just wouldn't touch it. That's me.
That's fair. Well, you're not quite like me who likes to have all of his points in one basket. You like to spread the love.
I do spread the love, and I tend to be a little aggressive with my playstyle.
Oh my god! Someone looks at you sideways. You got knights up their ass. Anywho, let's see. What do we got for Hedge Knights now?
Hedge Knights. These are so when we're playtesting, we call them free knights. Hedge Knights. I like these. These are basically knights without lords. They have they don't have shields.
Okay. Because I guess they don't. Because I guess the shields kind of represent a lord or a heraldry they'd have on them, so they don't have a lord. They don't have the shield with the heraldry.
Well, they're fearless. They're light troops. These are heavy cav or medium cav considered light troops with a devastating charge, battle focus. They get -2 defense, so their defense 4 goes to defense 2, but now their agility 5, 6 on the charge.
Still not enough to get by most spears, but interesting. Well,
paired weapons.
I'm thinking elf spears.
You are thinking elf spears. Well, let's go with orcs or saurians or something like that. They're strength 4, AP 1, 2 attacks each because they're paired weapons.
Yeah, so they get a lot of strength 4 attacks.
Yes.
I like the design of these. I'm not sure I would ever play with them, but I like the general design.
I've played with them. They're good. But look at the horse too. It's a different name. The courser. Strength 3. Strength 3, offensive 3. So again, going back to Matty P, this is really what you kind of think of like an American style, like Native American, cutting on a dime, things like that. That's the style horse.
Okay. And I guess, going into that, I guess the Yeoman Outriders have the exact same kind of horse. Turning on a dime makes sense.
Yep, and Discipline 7, so we've only added one in their discipline because these are trained, trained, but they haven't changed otherwise.
No, they're here's your light chaff, folks. They're gonna die for the cause.
I don't know what you're talking about.
135 points. That's cheap.
That's what they are now.
Cheap. Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then they haven't changed for shit. Okay, fair enough.
And trust me, after dealing with Brick of Knights of the Realm or Feudal, trying to get them into your list is a pain.
You're talking to someone who after points might be down to just one unit of riders now as opposed to 2.
I understand.
But to be fair, I've also gained another stubborn brick to stop you with, so there's different trade-offs.
What do you mean another stubborn brick?
Oh man, that war altar are gonna come. That war altar coming. I'll make that war altar work.
All right, the Hooded Men.
All right, Hooded Men. Let's see.
So
these are the brigands.
Well, their upgrade is enlisted outlaws. So these are the Hooded Men. So there is a background reason for this, and that's because the Quinn and oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm tired, so I can't remember the full court of the goddess. So you've got the Merman, you've got the Quinn who go with the hooded man, the trickster god, and then you've got the snow child and things like that. So these are the ones that really help turn the tides and train the Equitaine how to fight the vampires.
Okay, got you.
And that's why we also gave them the unstable rule, because of what they are. And they lose the unstable rule if they become the outlaws. All of a sudden, they actually have a fear of death.
Okay.
But look at their special. Look at their special rule.
I like that. So if you can deploy them in something, and everything loses dangerous terrain. That's interesting.
Friend and foe.
And you put can become dangerous terrain from other sources because there's already enough reasons to screw. What the fuck is it called?
Trappers.
No, but fuck trappers.
Break the Spirit.
That's it. Took me a second there. Yes, Break the Spirit.
Yes.
I like that. I think these are nice. I like these guys.
And honestly, I just used them. I really like them. I mean, quick to fire, longbows, 3+. Yeah, hard target 1. Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, siege weapons. Good old siege weapons.
Go ahead. Tell me what... Scorpion hasn't changed. Other than, first off, discipline. So, historically, siege weapons were created by educated men, not some bone-lucky peasant who's like, oh, I'm going to throw a rock this way. Which way did it go, George? So, these are actually trained, typically trained by the church or controlled by the churches. In true medieval times, or historically, I should say. So that's why this is actually the War Machines are part of the church.
The trebuchet is interesting to me. 3x8 is an interesting box of damage. I think that's actually fine for 180 points because I can't see unless By the way, Skaven get fucked by this catapult. However, outside of Skaven. I don't see anyone really running 8 ranks.
And exactly, if you're running MSU or even MMU, it's not going to do shit.
I mean, because realistically, it's arguably worse than the normal catapult for a 5x5.
Or 4x4, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, 4x4 is actually better than a 4x. No, it's actually worse than a 4x4x1. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think strength 4 AP 1. I like that. I like that trebuchet.
Yeah, and there's no big under the hole anymore, so it's not multi-purposed.
Right. If you want something to die, if you want something specifically to die, you take a Scorpion.
Yes. If you're designing your list to have issues with big blocks, then you go ahead and take this. And I won't lie, I like it. I like it a lot. The other thing to definitely take note of is the range.
It's got a range 1872, so it's got more range. That's the trade-off. There it is.
It's got more range, but it's got but it also has a bigger dead space as well.
That is very true. 8 inches is a lot of dead space.
So, beast herds, you're gonna say, "Hi, I'll deal with you in a moment. Don't move because you can't. I'll be there in a moment. I'm going to kill them first and then come back and kill you. I'll be back."
No, it looks like... Oh, wait, advanced. Never mind. I'm like, it doesn't say you can't move until I looked at their movement values. Never mind.
Yep, and it also did lose a hit point as well.
I found the problem with moving them now. It's that they can't. They physically can't. Never mind.
Yes, move or fire. No. You can always move 0.
That's fair.
And large. The catapult, again, the tribe is still large, so...
yeah, that helped. It's fine.
Alright, I'm on Peg Knights now.
Did they they actually got decent. I like Peg Knights. I've always liked Peg Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Except for actually playing them because they were terrible.
And this is why I think we had that typo early on in the book, is because these don't have hard target.
Okay. They do not. I mean, they're 2 up armor save, Gallantry 2. Okay.
Look at the number of attacks.
Yeah, 2 attacks for the knight and 2 attacks for the pony. I'm assuming the Pegasus Charger is the pony.
And lance formation.
And lance formation. Oh, interesting.
So
you could, in theory, have 2 models, or 2 ranks, and a character on a peg, essentially, for 2 ranks and 3. Interesting. I like that. That actually makes them quite a bit better.
And it absolutely makes them quite a bit better. Also, before they were 1 attack plus 1 attack, devastating charge. Here's just, no, they have 2 attacks. Streamlined.
Also, thank you. Thank you for putting them on 50 by 50s, because it's fucking impossible to rank them up on 40 by 40s. I don't care if people are bitching about these guys getting their base size changed. Let me be clear, a 50 by 50 is a great thing for these unrankable fucks.
If you also notice, they don't skirmish.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I just... 50, oh, God.
No Knights... Hold on one sec, hold on. No Knight has any special deployment, including the Peg Knights. There's no Vanguard, there's no nothing. Not saying you don't have special moves, such as, like, troops.
What about... No, don't... Yeoman Vanguard... Yeoman Outriders Vanguard, but we're talking actual Knights.
I said actual Knights.
Okay, cool. But Night Knights makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, I like the Peg Knights. I think they're relatively unchanged. All things they were good. I like the fact that you can lance them up now.
Yep, 3 hit points. So to me, now they're viable.
Oh, absolutely.
I would never take them. So they are Gallantry 2. So a Peg is Gallantry 2. The Hippo is Gallantry 2. A Sky Herald previously, or the Heraldic Steed was, I think, 1. So let's be honest. I mean, now if I field a unit of this and a Peg, now that's 4. So I only have 3 left. So I can maybe take another unit of Pegs, and a Sky Herald, or we'll get to one of the Fae models here in a moment. But again, these things add up.
Let's talk about them their Sky Heralds. Let's see.
All right.
Interesting.
10-14, only 1 attack, 2 hit points each. They have a 3-up armor, 6-up ages. They're Ordeal. So the Herald is a very unique design. It's basically, this is your men-at-arms. These are your trusted servants at your keep, at your castle, at your fortress, who helps you breed these animals.
Got you.
And these are men of war. They're trained for war. Now they can't go ahead and carry that full heavy suit of armor because, let's be honest, they're flying. Now there's stuff in the background regarding Paratons, which are a kind of like an aggressive looking deer that flies. And you know what? A lot of people really like it. It sounds kind of cool. It's not for me though. All right, but if you like it, I'm going to say go for it. Lost Kingdom has some beautiful, beautiful models for it.
They do.
I
made one of them.
They really do.
I mean,
It's not for me personally. Like, I'm thinking about, know what I would call Lord Rockwolf. I want to rip him off the rock, find more models like him or similar to him, and that's what I want as my Sky Heralds.
fair.
All right. So 40 by 40 allows people to turn around, and if you want to use your current pegs, these guys skirmish. Go ahead and use them, because guess what? Pegasi were used as heraldry. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But they're not they're not the true royal a Pegasus Charger.
They're essentially aspirants of the sky. So I'm not talking actual lore wise. They're mechanically. Yeah, I think they're fine. I think they're good. They're a good bit cheaper than Peg Knights, which I kind of like.
Yes, and they're weaker too. They don't march as far, but they're fly 10.
I mean, they're good. They're good backline hunters. They're good bunker hunters. They're good war machine hunters.
Which is their role.
Yeah, I think they have a good. They vanguard too. I can see these things causing problems for certain armies, which I like. They have a very good role, I would say.
And you can put a folk hero with them, but you can't put a lord with them.
Right, which I do like.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, I think they're a well-designed unit. They have an actual purpose.
Yep. Impact hits. I like it.
I agree.
So far I've only used them with pair weapons, and I like them. They're a lot of fun. They die every game, but they do a lot of work for me. All right.
That's fair.
Now we're going to get to the fun part. You ready? Fate.
The Fate. This is my stuff.
All right. Naiads. Naiads are made out of water, where dryads are made out of trees and stuff. So that's why they're faster than dryads. They're 612 compared to the 510. They're 2 hit points each.
Okay.
But their defense 4, but they're only res 2 because again they're water. Now they don't have where you roll to hit like dryads do. They only have grind attacks 2. So this means, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's only your front rank gets to attack unless you have a special rule, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. So now they're strength 3, but they're also AP 3.
Yeah, that's a lot of AP for strength 3.
You're drowning the person with water.
I mean, yes, but yeah, I guess yeah. All right, I'll allow it.
I'm so glad you allow it.
I'm much more interested because they have baller ass spells. Like these are all amazing. Okay, I'll rephrase. Savage Fury, in my opinion, is meh. But
there are times that spell is gold.
There are, but okay. If you 9 times out of 10, I am not taking Savage Fury because I have Scrying, Healing Waters, and Deceptive Glamour, all of which are boss ass spells.
Yep.
I really like these spells.
Look at their special rules.
Which ones? The
Strider Water.
Attack? Yeah, Strider Water, Scout with the following restrictions. Half the model must be deployed more center. And the owner's deployment. So can you not deploy them normally?
You can deploy them normally.
Okay. I'm just double checking.
And
melee attacks are flaming. I like the fact that they just lose flaming attacks. That actually makes me smile a bit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I again, they're made out of water.
I think this is a really well designed unit. I like these guys. I like the fact that they're a conclave unit. I think they're a really well done unit. I'm not 100% sure if all these spells will stick because, like I said, these are all really good spells to have on.
Well,
there, but I mean, I think yeah. I mean, though, to be fair, these are all the lures you can take from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I like it. I like these things. I mean, I would probably take these guys instead of an adept in most cases, just so I can have them cast these bullshit spells.
But here's the thing: is the Orisons.
What about the Orisons?
You still want Yeah. This can't.
Please.
So Orisons are prayers. That's what Orison means. There's a reason why you don't see the hereditary spell. Like every other Wizard Conclave, you'll see it say hereditary spell as an option.
These are not from there.
Because they're not mortal.
Right. That makes sense, actually. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's well thought.
Well, you know what, and that's something that we took with background, and Tacky Pete showed us this image of basically like this man or men on a bridge with the naiads coming up from the water, either to lead, like either kiss and say, "Here, come to your death" type of deal, and that's what gave us some of that inspiration for the naiads.
Fair.
All right.
Oh, the Friar! I hate this thing.
Why do you hate this thing?
Oh God, this is one of those things where I think 90% of the players are going to be like, "Oh, it's bad," and just ignore. It's so good. It's so good.
So basically, what you're saying is, when done right, none can defend.
It's one of those things where it's deceptively. So let's start with all the bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit with this.
It's not a lot of bullshit.
It's got a lot of things to do. So first thing is illusions. First of all, always chooses flee as a charge reaction. Well, if possible, to stop having fearless.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that. And most people are going to think, why would you always say something can flee? Because you want it to get caught. This is one of those things. There's hundreds of points. If you catch it, you can't reform afterwards.
Yeah.
So you always have to charge with two things just to push it away so you don't actually catch it.
And hope you don't roll low.
Right. And I mean, and if fly 16.
But look at discipline. Look at its discipline.
Discipline 6?
You have to babysit it.
Why do you have to babysit it?
Discipline 6.
But it's unstable, so I mean, you have to babysit it once it flees through your shit, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of those things where I love it, and at the same time, I'm like, oh god, I hate this thing.
Well, here's the thing: doesn't random movement count as a pursuit rolls?
No. Also, well, depends. If you're doing random movement to pursue, then yes.
I thought random movement counts as pursue.
I don't know. It's not like one of those things where, it's not one of those things where it's treated as a pursuit roll, not the distance. So I'm not sure how were you guys intending for it to be like a -2 on random movements? The damn thing?
No, I just thought of it just now.
I don't think it's quite that way. I know it would get the -2 if you're using its random move to pursue something. I think it's a little different on the charge, but I don't know off the top of my head. I do like the fact that nothing in Lights of the Mist can bother a dwarf. Well done.
Well, no, it's -2 March.
I played dwarfs that move 6, so that's all we got to it. Nothing you can do can hurt me. I like this little Lights in the Mist thing. I'm not 100% sold on. I think this honestly needs to be about 40 points more expensive if you have Lights of the Mist for it. But I
don't think so. I think it's close to its right spot. I don't know plus or minus, but I don't think 200 points is appropriate.
Maybe. I like this thing. I do. Oh yeah, I like this thing. It's so deceptively obnoxious. It really is.
And look, it's only res 1, so you touch it, it's gonna die. It's also unstable.
Right. I mean, I can't imagine. Yeah. I mean, I guess technically you could charge it into something.
Absolutely. I've been there, done that. Tied up a War Machine for quite a few rounds.
That's fair.
Eventually it died, but by then damage is done. I'm not getting peppered with a...
Yep.
No, actually, a organ gun.
That's even better, and yep, that's very fair. Hard target 2 means you can honestly get there, too.
Yep.
It's one grind attack. Jesus H. Puffin stuffs.
That thing was doing wounds. I kept rolling 6s. It was great.
You're terrible. No, it's I like the design of this. I don't think it's particularly busted. I think it's a little light on points, but I'm not sure how much Lights of the Mist is going to come into play, if at all.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be hard to use, but once you master it, it's going to work really well.
So many upsides to this dickish little piece here.
Thank you.
It's so good. It's also the other thing too is it's a single model, which is nice. Like I love single model chaff pieces.
I like it because here's the thing is, and here's the thing is, okay, you line it right up in front of me. I charge. I push it back. I can't redirect because you're still too close, and then I charge something else again, which pushes it even further. That first unit then gets to also still redirect.
That's fair.
So
it depends on what you're facing. Like I said, I like this. This is definitely going to catch people with their pants down, which I hope I see, just so I can laugh.
Absolutely. I hope to use it against you.
You've used it against me before. That's why I know I have to charge it twice and make sure it runs the fuck away so I don't have bad shit happen to me. I hate that thing. I'm like, I charge it, cool, and then I'm like, wait a second, let me read the rules on this. Wait a second, keep charging it. We cannot complete a charge against this thing or we're fucked. This is legitimately the whole meme of ooh, pretty lights.
Don't follow the lights. And
it's so pretty.
Well, and this is the thing is when trying to come up with these fae, learning about the jack-o'-lanterns and the actual will-o'-the-wisps and things like that. Like I never really knew jack-o'-lanterns, as much as creepy as they're supposed to look, are actually there to ward off against evil spirits. And the will-o'-the-wisp, which will typically lead someone to their death, will also lead people, some people to hope, to safe harbor.
Yeah, it depends on which kind. It depends on which mood the spirits are feeling for will-o'-the-wisp.
Yeah, it also depends on which country's lore you're reading it up on. And again, I also think of Gollum from Lord of the Rings movie, turning around to Frodo, going, "Don't follow the lights."
That's fair. That's very fair.
All right, I'm going to go to the next slide.
Oh,
this is this here is actually the last page. So please know what page number does that say down at the bottom? Oh no.
Quick reference.
No.
Or Fey Knight.
The underneath the Fey Knight. What page number is this? Like 20?
Oh, this is 19.
Page 19. So we've gone through 18 pages of rules and units, and this already has a hell of a lot more than what the last rulebook had for KOE.
For the record, here were all the special rules. By the way, all of the special rules are on this last page here, folks. So
that is not true.
Rick. Yep, here we go. No. All right, the ladies' courtier. I'm imagining Archangel kind of.
All right. So I've been having some conversations with people across the pond. I played Henry this morning, who is English, and I had to turn to him like, you know what? Let's word it to you like this. I'm an American. I speak English poorly. So we now said that this is page 19, so 18 pages. The current skim book, before this is released, has, with all the units and special rules, 17 pages. We've only added one page.
I think 20-odd pages for an entire book is perfectly reasonable.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just letting people know, it's like we've only added one page, and we've added units.
Look. Just because some books add a whole bunch of pages and everything has special rules and we're all very confused multiple times doesn't mean that it's bad.
No, look, I'm not out. No. We're not going to be commenting about other people. I care about my book.
I like the fact that this book is fairly streamlined. All things like it's not a whole bunch of new rules, which is nice.
Yeah, and it's to me it seems easy to or easier to understand. It's not like it's like
It's got a lot of existing rules that you've used well.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, but let's talk about the Angel Lady. I'm calling her the Angel Lady because that's in my mind. That's what this is.
If that's what you want, then play with your angel. I don't want an angel. I want a. You know what? I may turn around and paint up my bloodthirster. Fit the bill.
All right, that's fair.
So
this is interesting. So 5 HP, offense, defense 5.
Well, hold on one sec. Hold on before we start going through rules. I want to touch a little bit on the Fey Courtiers and the Fey Knights. With the background, first off, there is a Green Knight. You will not see the Green Knight here, but the Green Knight actually helped train Equitaine to fight against and free themselves from the vampires. And basically, the vampires are what killed the old pantheon of gods. And a lot of the gods didn't die per se; they were weakened, and to what you now possibly see here. Does that make sense to you, Phil?
Yeah.
So hopefully that little touch of like the background has you going, oh, that's cool. Where's more? I want more. So all right, now go ahead and continue. There's 2 different courtiers and there's 2 different Fey Knights. So please go ahead.
Yeah. Dawn and Dusk. Dawn is here to kick your ass. So correct me if I'm wrong here. Dawn means if you go Dawn, which is the free version, you're getting from what I can see, a 5 up armor save, 5 up ward save, or 5 up Aegis save base, right?
Yes.
Okay. 4 up against melee attacks, fine.
Yeah.
But this thing has 7 attacks if it's Court of the Dawn.
Is it only +2 or +3?
+3. So 4 + 3 is 7.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. But I like the fact it's like, oh yeah, all your horses hit harder. I don't care which horse it is. It could be your opponent's horse or your horse, but it hits harder. I like that.
Well, so does your opponent's dragon. So does your opponent's Cold One Knights.
Are dragons harnessed? I don't know if dragons are harnessed.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't think dragons were harnessed.
I thought they were. What? You've got your phone or book. Look it up.
I mean, you know what, to be fair, I don't play an army. I've never used the dragon, actually.
Hold on, I'm looking up.
I've used things with dragons as their stand-ins. My Hippogriff is a lovely painted dragon, but I've never actively used the dragon.
So Battle Shrine, Carcadine, Chimera, Wasteland Behemoth. It is a gigantic beast.
I don't think gigantic models are harnessed in your...
It says harnessed under Wasteland Behemoth. And the dragon is harnessed as well.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that answers that question. I like the fact that it just gives everything you're riding +1 to hit. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, and then you've got the adept version of it, which is nice.
Yep, and I think that even the adept with 4 attacks at strength 5 AP 2 is decent in combat.
It is, absolutely.
With a stomp.
Yeah, strength 5 stomp is always nice.
Yep. And
I like that it reduces combat.
Well, spells cast into the combat.
Yeah, makes it easier to cast spells. This is I think Courtier of the Dusk intrigues me, but part of me is just like... the Courtier of the Dawn is just a really nice support piece. Although for 430 points, I'm not sure... I'm curious about that. That's expensive.
It is single model 50mm base with a...
And you can heal it too, I suppose. It's large, right?
Yep.
Yeah, one
It's got a 4-up Aegis against melee attacks.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1 summer growth on this thing heals it like 2 to 3 wounds. That's actually really nice.
1 summer growth heals only 2 wounds.
Large boosted would be 3, no?
No. Be 1 wound for being large, and I think 1 wound for the attribute.
Large is not 1 wound.
You sure about that?
Yes. As someone who plays Thicket Beasts, yes.
All right. Well, keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay, no. Yeah, no. So yeah, you can heal 3 wounds on it. Well, assuming you want to use the attribute on this as well. Base, you can use 3. You can heal 3 wounds on it. 4 if you have if you boost it if you have a thrown up. Thrown up? Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. 4 if you have thrown up. So I mean, this thing's got actually a decent amount of sting. Because I mean, honestly, it's going to get shot to shit with small arms fire. That's the thing. Fast.
Yeah, raise 2, raise 3 if you have Oaken thrown up. And for
you can.
else.
This thing is. Yeah, I like this. I think with Druidism you can pull some bullshit shenanigans with it. Not bullshit shenanigans. You can basically assume. You basically make sure it gets there very, very healthy.
Yeah.
All things considered. I like this. This is a really good support piece, I think.
And that's what the Fate's supposed to be, is a good support piece.
Right. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure. I want to say I like the Courtier. I want to say I like the Dusk, but I think Dawn is just so good for what you get out of it.
Well, we'll wait and see. Again, having the witchcraft spells and things.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to say for having a relatively good support adept.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered.
That's not coming out of character.
Take it for witchcraft. I can't. If you're going druidism, let's be real. You're taking a damsel. It's just cheaper.
Yeah, but this doesn't come out of characters.
Yeah, but if I'm playing druidism, I want a master. But that's just me, though.
Exactly. So that means you'd be throwing witchcraft, and now let's go back to the Knight Resplendent with the Banner of Speed. That's where you have to start designing your army. So that's where things can turn around and get a little funky. But because we're only allowing adepts, we're not allowing you to spam Evil Eye.
Right. You can only at best you get 4 spells.
Yeah.
As if you take and this.
Yes.
That's interesting. I'm not sure.
Right.
I like it though. I like the general deal behind it. It's nice. Let's see what else we got here.
And Fey Knights are Discipline 8. Fey Knights are Discipline 8.
Right. I'm looking more at the wall of text with him. I mean, it's well earned, but.
Well, let's go through issues with that were the former Green Knight. To me, the former Green Knight was the oh shit, I fucked up. How do I save myself? Green Knight to the rescue.
I hate that fucking car. I hated that. I hated him so much.
So
I hated him all of my fucking being. I hated that thing.
And that was the issue.
No. This is cool. I like this model.
Oh, I love the model that I'm painting up right now.
I am the one I printed for you. Yes. Yes, absolutely. No, I like this. I love this idea for it. I love that it's essentially it comes in with you can again always deploy it normally, which is always good. I mean, it's got Ghost Step, which is again really good.
It's supernal.
Is it one of a kind?
Each one is one of a kind.
Okay, so you could, in theory, have 2 of these.
But you can have no more than 2 Fey steeds in the entire army.
Got you. Okay. So I like that these can ambush from different terrain features.
Mm-hmm.
That's always really cool to me. And it's got to be completely placed within any terrain feature.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Field and Stone can appear from a field. All right, fair enough. And gains the large flail.
Yep, we're probably going to.
Is it that's probably going to get changed in the near future?
Yeah, we're probably going to change the name just to kind of streamline it, just to be like a large sword or something. For those of you who are looking at things to turn around and model, here's the thing: is I don't care what the hell it looks like. It's large. It's got a weapon, and what is it again? All right.
the flail, but I like the fact that this is just basically I'm going to. It essentially goes, hey, I heard there was a lot of chumps that need to get mowed down.
Yeah, to me, I think Saruman or Sauron.
So from the beginning of Lord of the Rings, just smacking everyone aside.
Yeah.
Yup. I concur. I like this model like that. It's essentially going to get. It's 50 wide, right?
50 by 75.
It's going to probably get 4 attacks out of this.
Yep.
So,
unless someone flanks it.
Infantry. Assume you're fighting infantry. Hell, even if you're fighting cavalry.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the fact it's not stubborn anymore. Thank Christ.
Well, there's 2 of them. One stubborn.
Yeah, I'm about to read Stream and Springs and be sad again. I remember. Get the Bastard Sword. I like Bastard Swords. So strength 6 with a Bastard Sword. Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Always AP 3. Oh, AP 4 with a Bastard Sword. That's nice indeed.
On the charge, she's AP 4.
That's fair. Bound to land plus 1 agency against melee, so he's got a 5 up. No, sorry, he's got a 4 up. Sorry, I was looking at agility. He's got a 4 up against melee attacks. Cool. Mm-hmm. And stubborn. Fuck me. I hate stubborn. That's a lot. I love stubborn. I mean, he's fine.
Discipline.
He's not. He can't magically appear. He's only got what, 4 wounds?
He's only got 4 wounds, and he's only 3 up armor.
Yeah, he's tough 4. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not as bad as he once was.
No, so we decreased the armor by 1, but we gave him 1 more hit point.
That's fair.
And the steed's got 2 attacks. Now this steed does not have the breath weapon, where the character does have a breath weapon.
Right, but this has a nice little effect that says, I'm going to challenge somebody, and they have to answer.
Yes.
That, I'm not sure. I like it from a fluff perspective. From a gameplay perspective, I'm honestly not sure how I feel about it.
This is your Green Knight.
That's fair.
This is Charlemagne's Green Knight.
I have more of an issue with the fact that just in general, the Green Knight, essentially, he can buy himself turns by challenging, where before, yes, I would not get to swing with my character, but I could still hit him and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stream and Springs is clearly the superior choice in like 90% of, I would argue, cases here.
Mm-hmm.
I like Field and Stone though. I love things that just be like, fuck Perry. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on. I'm not 100% sure how much I like Stream and Springs from a mechanic perspective, just because I feel it's very powerful. The purpose of must issue and accept duels whenever possible. So it has to issue. Oh wait, no, never mind.
So you can decline it.
You can decline. Never mind. I have less problems with it now. I lied. It's cool.
All right.
Look, it late, folks. I read it as in people must accept the duels. Never mind. You can still decline it.
Yep.
So he always has the challenge. We can decline. Okay. Never mind. We're good. That makes sense. Yeah, I like it. I like this guy. I think these are nice, really cool models that you get to play around with.
So overall, because last time you play tested this with me, that you actually saw anything was many moons ago. I'm just going to click over to the first page. I
think the prices. Like I said, even when I played you,
don't. Let's not talk prices.
Well, no. Last time I was less inclined with the book because of it was early in pricing and everything was underpriced. I think this is fine for the most part.
Okay.
I don't see anything in particular here that's utterly game breaking. I see things that might be a little strong in context with the internal balance of the book, but nothing. I don't see anything here that's just like, hey, that shit needs to be stopped. Cut it out.
I think that once people get used to seeing what's now in the book too, that's all going to shift again as well.
Of course, but that's with every new book that gets released.
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing that I would be like, this is problematic, would be the questing knights, but even they're not nearly that bad. They're just really good. That's all. They're just really good. Yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see how people take this book. Like I said, this to me harkens back to like the Dark Elf book. I feel like it's a very nice, streamlined-esque book. Nothing here that's like, there's not a lot of like new keywords here, all things considered, which I personally appreciate because I hate having to learn a whole bunch of new shit.
Yeah, I'm still having to go back and look at some Demon Legions and stuff like that. And it's not that the rules don't make sense to me now. It's just
there's so many different.
It's so the name. It's the name. Figuring out the names and stuff. That's the only issue with me in Demon Legions.
My thing is Infernal Dwarfs. I'm like, oh god, what special rules does this unit have? Please, someone help me navigate this. I need a map.
No, I don't have any issues. I don't have any issues with that in terms of what special rules. It's just.
I think this is fine. I think this is, again, you rely more on the in general, the keywords we already know. And you have equipment, which is Bastard Sword and stuff like that. I think I like most of this. I think it's a relatively straightforward book, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what other people think of it, just because I like hearing people's opinions that differ from my own. I'm sure Gene will do a wonderful job telling me how much I screwed up and everything.
No, Joe will.
He always does. Always does. But yeah, I like this. I like the book. I think it's really well thought out, all things considered. Like I said, nothing here strikes me as like super imbalanced.
I think the biggest thing, and by the way, I'm back on the intro screen with the two units with the two images of knights because I think they look awesome. By the way, this artwork is right from the Ninth Age website under public resources under art. So I would always tell people to go ahead and look there for some really cool things if you're doing battle reports or anything like that. I have been playing this style army since I was 17, so 26 years.
Because you're old. Continue.
Fuck you. With that said, is this captures my imagination. This makes me want to write my fluff again and my background again.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the army being played so many different ways by so many different people, but still feel the same way by the opponent.
Horses go fast, horses hit hard. Please stop hitting me, horses.
And just remember, the horses always do better than the knights.
They always do!
Yep. One thing to also mention, though, is that Orisons do not affect the mounts.
That's always very helpful.
Yeah. All right. So, with that said, I think it's time for us to go ahead and wrap up. Other than my one question for you, because obviously I am going to be... Look, I worked on the book. I definitely think there are things we need to keep an eye on. So please know, I am not looking at this... Why do I think the cat ate my freaking cleaning brush?
Well, you left your cat out where...
Well, yeah,
you left your brush out and jackasses, so...
Yes,
I have 3 of them. I know them. They're terrible.
So,
right now,
Phil, before we go down an animal tangent and, I start, worrying about what's coming out the wrong end of my cat.
Welcome, Cat Talk. Anywho.
Do you... If I were to come up with this, do you feel this screams Equitaine? Do you feel this screams knighthood? And I'm not talking Charlemagne, or you could say Charlemagne's or King Arthur or whatever, but does this, or medieval or anything like that, do you feel that anything's been taken away? Does it scream knight? And would you, as the opponent...
this this does scream Knight. This is a very Cav centric. When I'm thinking this book, after reading this book with you, this to me says, hey, we have horses and we have shiny guys on there. You have a lot of support pieces that again kind of accentuate the Knights in general, so it kind of brings them to the forefront, which I like. I mean, realistically speaking, I think it's a well-designed book for Knights and Cav. Now, again, and it can fit a lot of narratives, too. You could have your more Arthurian legend Knights out of this. You could have your more medieval Knight-style stuff out of this. But I think it does a good job with that, all things considered.
Thank you. No, what was that?
No, I said it's a good book. You deserve to be congratulated. It's good.
Thank you. And look, this was absolutely a team effort, and so again, just special thanks to Tacky, to Rock, who's Crocs, to Henry T. Miller, to Ollie, who's Night One, to Brandon, who's Echo Control. Zadard, who disappeared but was early on helping us out with the task team. So just special thanks to everyone who worked on this. For myself personally, it has re-inspired me with like the Chronicles of Lord Breslin and things like that. And I've already got storylines going through my head, and I can't wait to play. I can't wait to write.
Awesome.
So until next time. Happy gaming!